Good morning to those on the West Coast. Good afternoon to everyone on the East Coast, and good day to everybody else. A good night to Annika, who I know is in the chat right now over in India. Hello to so many people. I'm not going to be able to go through everyone's names, but I see Gus is in here, and Viola, and Clever. We have so many people: Sean, D, Monica, Mercurial, Umacorn. We had Sam Peterson. You name it. There's so many people that are always a part of the Behance community and live streaming, and it's great to have you guys here. We're having a great time at Max. We just finished up watching the keynote, and now we have a big roster of different live streamers from Behance on user live streaming that we want to walk you through and show you a little bit about live streaming. If you don't know, live streaming is a user experience on Behance where you can stream what you're working on. From Photoshop, Illustrator, all the iPad apps, they all have native functionality. Just hit the button and go live. You can work on your physical media as well. We have people that do painting, and we have music production, which we'll see in a little bit. I'm going to bring in Evan in just a second here. But before we do that, we have a prepared little walkthrough, actually, of live streaming that I would love for you guys to see. And also, I'm seeing that Reverb Mike is commenting on my beautiful jungle behind me. These are the healthiest plants in the house that we've had. So you don't get to see the dead ones, and these are the ones that I'm proud of and I'm okay with showing you guys. I do need a little help with this spider plant. He's starting to hurt, but I digress. Here's the live streaming sizzle for you guys, and enjoy.
Glad to have you.
I'm on the couch. I'm kicking the couch.
So we're really excited to go ahead and bring in Evan, which I'm going to do right here in just a second. But we'll have him talk a little bit about what he does on the platform, when he streams, what he streams. And we also want to talk a little bit about subscriptions, which I know that we talked a little bit about in the keynote. But without any further ado, please welcome Evan. Hey, Evan, how's it going?
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me on, man. It's always a good time to hang out with our Stream Daddy here on Behance.
Oh God, Stream Daddy has now made it into Adobe Max Canon, so there's that. Thanks for taking time for coming on the show. We have a lot of people really excited to see you. And I know you've been streaming on the platform for quite a bit of time now, and your flex is motion graphics, and that is my bread and butter as well. So I'm really excited to have you first on here to really give motion graphics its day in the sun.
That's right. Finally, we will get the spotlight we've deserved.
Exactly.
For so long. No, it's been great. I think we're coming up on almost 2 years, actually. Someone let me know, like, oh, Evan, you've been doing this for like a year and a half. Whoa, really? It just kind of works into your lifestyle after a while. It's been great though.
Yeah, so you said it's been about 2 years. Did you do ever any live streaming with any platform before then, or is kind of Behance your first time checking it out?
Let me tell you a tale. So I'm most known for putting stuff up on YouTube, right? A lot of like 10-minute, 15-minute tutorials about After Effects. That's kind of where I'm most known internetedly. So find E.C. Abrams all over the internet. But for a while I thought, hey, YouTube has a live feature. Let's give it a try there. Let's see if it works there. And unfortunately, it did not. It turns out a long form explorative session where you kind of just fumble your way through things, taking it partially seriously, is not a good vibe for the type of folks there. So that didn't work out. That was, oops, a hit and a miss. So I thought, I know, I will try Twitch. Let's try Twitch out. And discover that maybe I'm not Twitch people. Maybe I don't have the vibe. I'm not much of a gamer myself, and there is a bit of a shift, to get into there. Again, maybe people didn't like my ironic detachment towards creative process. I'm not serious enough. I wasn't winning enough After Effects, not getting enough Chivos for folks. So didn't really pan out. But it really wasn't until, the Behance team was like, hey, you want to try this out? Try out this platform, that I really think that I kind of found the people I wanted to talk to here, if that makes sense. Like, I think everyone on Behance is here to learn something. They're here to experience. They're here to share. And it's just the right fit, right? This is the right place for this kind of thing, where we're going to explore together. We're going to ask questions. We're going to get creative. We're going to try new things out. It's totally fine to have a chill hang and just be creative with your friends for a little while. Really, that's kind of the vibe that I get out of it. And that's why it kind of sticks hanging around here.
Yeah, my favorite thing definitely has to be with the idea of presenting to other artists. Since Behance has such a curated selection of an audience of artists, both professional and starting out, that it's really nice to be able to present and have people just really support and be there for you when you are trying something new. And then also when you're doing something that you're really proud of, people know the work that goes into it, or they want to learn from you. So it's a really different dynamic. And I know that you said you have your ironic detachment, but I think that seeing a candid and honest approach to really fine work is something that people really want to see, because you only see the final product. You don't really get to see all the struggles and fist punching in the air.
I think the other thing is, you're in motion design as well. And there's kind of like this long, when you're doing motion design work, there's kind of like this long trail where it's like trying things, not really working out. And then suddenly something will hit and it's like, oh, now we're getting into what the final form of this thing will look like. So there's like a long period of almost nothingness. And then suddenly it becomes something that I think people really miss when they just see the final piece and not knowing that, oh, this is so good because maybe it took a team of 12 people to do this and they had 14 hours and we went through various sketches and iterations and we're kind of choosing what software we might even use or what approach we might take. So all that is lost when the only thing you get is a pretty dope 10-second looping GIF. How does that even made? Well, that's what we kind of explore on the stream together. It's I often liken it to ruining magic tricks. It's a big thing that we do. We're kind of stripping away a lot of the illusion. We're turning the stage sideways so you can see, well, the elephant did not disappear, but now you know how to make anything disappear. Empire State Building, Ferrari, make them all disappear. It's the same magic trick. You're going to love it. So I don't know. It's a lot of fun for me to explore those things from a technical level. And so then people more creative than I can go out there and do something more interesting with it. But it's fun to play, I'll say.
Kind of like when you're putting together a jigsaw puzzle at a cabin, and then you sit there and you work on the border and the complex shapes, and then mom comes over at the end with the final piece and puts it in, and it's like, oh look, now it's a final piece.
Look at this, I did the puzzle. I completed the puzzle. I nailed it.
Sean in the chat says Behance is the safest place to fail, which is such a really good welcoming approach. Also have Lee and so many other people backing you up here. But I did want to go over a little bit about when you stream and what you stream. So I guess we could start off with our first question of
Whence does stream happen, you say? Well, it's usually 10 o'clock, so 10 o'clock Eastern time. I'm based out of Ottawa, so 10 o'clock, I like to get up, have a hot beverage. So Fridays and Saturdays, 10 o'clock Eastern time, you can come find me hanging out. Fridays, we're doing a much more focused thing where we are making logos move. We've been doing that for a series of, we just passed 52 of them. So we've done at least 52 weeks of that type of thing on Friday. I figured Friday is a business day. Let's get down to business. Let's do some business stuff. And, just to show you, kind of where that process started. This was actually one of the first ones that we did. This is for a company called Millinote. And as you can see, fairly basic stuff. It's not the most maybe exciting thing, but what we're able to do on this stream on the logo times is to explore sort of many different modes that we might try to do this stuff in. So the purpose of the Make My Logo Move streams was to look at things that maybe wouldn't get animated and that maybe don't have an obvious idea behind them right away, and that we can crack them open and explore and really just try to see what can we bring to it. And I'll say this, the good people who watch me, who get up early and hang out, bring a lot to the table as well. So my A team out there, I see some of them hanging out in the chat today. So they're always there, bringing suggestions, asking questions. And so, we ended up doing a couple of sort of 3D versions of this. Oh, what if it unfolded like a butterfly? What if it unfolded into quarters? What would that look
that's
like?
Cool.
And like eventually we kind of get somewhere together by kind of knocking these ideas around. And I'm hoping that through some of this exploration, we get to maybe demystify or make things less scary to try, just because it can feel like, oh, we have to commit so strong into one direction. Like, no, we don't. No, we don't. We can knock out 4 variations in 2 hours. It's fine. And if we like one of them, maybe we go a bit harder on that one and we work that one through to the end. But we can play around with it. So this was kind of the first one. But we come up to, the last one that we did in the series ended up being like this. That's a bit more complex, a lot more characterful. We've got so many crazy things that are going on that require a whole bunch of different tools and techniques and problems to solve that, if we crack this file open, again, it is of course spooky season. So, we may get scared from some of this stuff, if only to be a little bit scared of maybe the heap of layers that we're going to be encountering as we jump into this space. Because this one was a whole lot of like puppet pin engine stuff that a lot of people had not used before, maybe you've never touched. Puppet pin is this little buddy up here. If you're an illustrator, you want to get things animated, grab your puppet pin and have some fun with that. So this was a lot of like setting pins and using expressions to move them around so we don't have to work so hard. It was a big day. It was a big day of things. This one spanned over two Fridays as our capstone of the series.
I actually tuned in for this one, and I remember seeing that you taught me how to work with different puppet pins with the idea of a compositional dimension rather than a layer dimension, because of updating and working together with both Illustrator and After Effects and making sure that they still work together the farther you go into the project.
Yeah, cool. And it's like those are some of those little nuances that are like, why would I import something as the project dimensions? So if you look here, you can kind of see this little bounding box, this little purple border around here. That's our bounding box that says that's how big the layer is. But in Illustrator, this is actually just one tiny component in here. Oh, the middle finger. Oh, sorry folks. But it's just one little element of it, and we've got all this extra space around. You think, well, Evan, why do we want all that extra space? Well, if in the Illustrator file, we have to make some updates. We have to kind of choose what lives on what layer. Then the actual size of that layer will change. And if we're using things like the Puppet engine, which creates a mesh over top of stuff, suddenly the mesh needs to get updated. Oh boy, there's a lot of things I find in motion design where if we can't really accurately forecast what will happen at the end of a couple of steps, it's really hard to make those initial setup steps really count and to give ourselves the space to be able to go in different directions, right? I often think of it kind of like a triangle, or maybe we're starting broad and we're trying to work narrowly towards the end, just so we're able to stick and move and be flexible in what we're doing. And honestly, it was a little bit reckless to set myself a 2-hour time limit on these streams. That was a weird thing to do. That was probably not the best idea, because we don't accomplish everything that we set out to do on the streams.
Absolutely. But that's also part of it. I mean, such a big part of live streaming is just having someone kind of there that Anna Davis-Court, who's actually on later, she kind of terms it as passive entertainment, which I think is really good, especially during lockdown, especially during times when we're working a lot more remote and you don't have that office setting. Yeah. So it's really nice to just kind of have someone slowly work across something for 2 hours. And if they don't finish it, whatever, it's fine. Yeah. You can always come back later for another stream, or, it's also just good to see someone work alongside you, which is fun.
Yeah, and it hopefully, at the very least, hopefully it lets everyone know that, we're not alone out here. We're all struggling through the same thing. I had the chance to let's crack on with a couple more of these. Someone from, say, previously in here. This is from a good friend of the show, Caitlin Cadgio, who I also do a podcast with. But she has this wonderful dragon here that when we started animating this thing, it is very characterful. And we were thinking like, well, do we have to respect it as a character? Do we have to, treat it one way or the other way? And we're like, no. We'll just look at the geometries of it. It's an abstract kind of weird little buddy. Let's just get it walking in here in a very funny kind of way. And
a slinky way.
Yeah, exactly. Like nothing moves this way. What a weird thing to be doing. But, I think it hopefully opened up for a lot of people this idea that, even though something might look like one thing, but if we break it down into totally different parts, then we're able to manipulate it in totally different ways that still kind of snaps back to that final logo, but it feels like it has more dimension. It feels like it has more to it. So trying to get things like this little bend in the neck, which didn't exist before, right? We had to create that. We have to make that. So when I talk about exposing those little magic tricks that that are like ruining the illusion, well, that's some of it, because some of this stuff is really just a little patch that covers it up for a few frames just to sell the idea. We wouldn't have. It's not there, right? It's not there in the beginning, so we have to make it later, and hopefully that kind of makes sense for people. But yeah, I always say a big thanks to everyone who puts their logo forward for this kind of thing. If only because a lot of people who are sending them in are maybe they're print designers, right? So let's see, this one was from Victoria. Is Victoria hanging out in the chat today? Maybe she's probably has to work at these hours. But just open that up. So if someone's working in print, they're not going to be even thinking about getting this thing animated in any capacity, no matter what it is that they might be making. So when we think about, what would it be to animate this, it's a total toss up. So the file is not going to be formatted the way we necessarily would want. It's not going to be, as streamlined. So a lot of the time we spend a good half hour at the start just talking about what we want to do, how we're going to get there, and what we have to do to the files to make that happen. This was a great example of something that's very typographically based, and we were able to do something sort of very procedural to it that I think came out pretty well. This is where it started, and then we just looked at, what are some basic ways that we can bring this together, and then let's expand on that a little bit more. Let's get a little bit bigger with what we might be doing to bring it together. If that doesn't work, let's try another one. So we really get to be as scatterbrained and I don't know, really get to indulge my ADHD a little bit on this stuff, so we can explore so many different things. So it's always, I think, for a lot of designers, we're gonna kind of pull back the curtain. We're going to see how the stuff is constructed. So I think it takes some guts to send in your thing to get it animated when it's going to be done live. So for all 52 people plus who've sent the stuff in, I want to say a big thanks for making the project even possible, right? Because without people contributing to it, it doesn't happen. It's teamwork makes the dream work out here, and that's why we're the A team on Saturday mornings.
Absolutely. I love how you also take a point to make sure you always keep the compositions. So as you explore something else, you still have that record of trying different stuff. I know that was something that I learned, and I don't necessarily do all the time, especially in Illustrator, but the idea of just not being destructive to yourself and just taking something, copying it, and moving on, it makes your file bigger. But if you can do it, then you can then reference it back and then bring things back for it later, and you don't have to do duplicative work. And it's such a good process. Yeah,
we want to be as non-destructive as we can. I did see one question in the chat from Mark Lapointe or Mark Lapointe. Where do we put the files to participate? Well, just get at me, message me on Behance. If you follow me on here, then you'll be able to message me on here. We'll figure out the best way to get me the files. Usually I just have people email them to me, or use your Creative Cloud powers to share them with me as best you can, whatever way is going to work. So we are going to be continuing on making logos move on Fridays. I got a heap of them. I got 6 of them left in the queue now, apparently. So keep sending them in. We'll keep doing them. And yeah, that's what we want. So bring me your logos. I must have them. I must possess these logos.
Oh gosh. I do want to touch real quick on
Yeah.
subscription, because I know that you recently launched a subscription on Behance and you have some special offerings for it. So before we move on to Kimmy, who we'll have on in just a few moments, I wanted to see what's in your
Let's have a look at what's going on in there. I keep it very basic. You might think that you know, Evan's subscription situation is probably the most basic of all of them. It's a meager $2, and we put up a lot of the work files that we end up doing. So because a lot of the stuff that we're doing is very kind of conceptual, very education based, I figured, what's something that we can actually offer people? If you want to check out this little project, it'll tell you what you get when you subscribe. And also it's got some lovely funny animations in it. But the types of files that we'll be putting in here are things that you want to be maybe playing around with, opening up, taking apart, maybe swapping out and seeing how it works for your assets. A lot of the stuff that we do on Saturdays is what ends up in this space. So Saturdays are a little bit more freeform. We're not using anybody's pre-made assets. It's all Evan Abrams originals in here. So you're welcome to take and remix and take apart these objects as much as you like. For example, you know, we have this lovely loop that we worked up. That took us a few sessions to kind of make this happen, but you know, dissecting it and understanding the process, I think, is pretty valuable. So for just $2 a month, you can get access to our ever-growing library of things in here. I've got a whole year and a half of projects to be populating this with. So more are on the way. So that's basically what we do around here. So if that appeals to you, if you like learning After Effects, if this is the kind of thing that you want to have more of in your life, then subscribe ? And maybe you'll enjoy it. But it is nice to just have people, you know, kind of making that commitment to come and hang out and make that part of your life. So we're happy to have you, even if it's a small monetary commitment. I also wanted to kind of make sure that it was accessible to people in many localities. $2 American may not sound like much, but I'm in Canada and that goes pretty far. So,
but here it's like a shot of Starbucks. You get like this much coffee for about $2. So.
You know what? That sounds pretty agreeable to me.
What? No.
But it's the sort of thing where, like, if someone is watching this from North Africa, if someone's watching this from Indonesia, wherever you are in the world, you know, I want to make sure it was kind of at an accessible space for people, because really we're not putting a heap of stuff in there, right? And it keeps it relaxed for me to have low obligations, but it's hopefully good for folks to get into that.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring in Kimmy, but I'm going to keep you here so you guys can say hello to each other real quick. And then we'll switch over. But was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we bring her on in?
I think that's about it. If you want to find more of me on the internet, at EC Abrams everywhere, but definitely come hang out with me 10 o'clock Fridays and Saturdays. And if you've got a logo you'd like to see animated, send it to me, and let's get it on the show. Let's keep that going.
Brilliant. All right. Thank you very much. Kimmy!
Hi!
Welcome to the show. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having me. How's it going?
Going well.
Man, Ryan's a tough interviewer. He asks really hard-hitting questions. I was sweating it over here, but you know, we're going to handle it.
My palms are sweating. I'm like, oh my God, that's so intense. I'm going to be able to handle this.
Pulled up some dirt on everybody, and I'm just going to slowly trickle it out.
So much gotcha journalism going on here.
Yeah, right?
No, it's all good. It's a chill hang. Kimmy, what's going on today?
Oh, not much. I did some streaming this morning for the iPad for the first time, so that was pretty cool. I did not update my Illustrator for the iPad, so everyone was telling me all these really cool updates, and I'm like, what? And I was like, okay, well, we might have to stop the stream so I can go update, but nah, we finished it. But I did just update, so can't wait to play with it.
Now you can play with all the new tools.
Play with all the new things. Can't wait. But
well, let's dive into what you're working on.
Yeah.
We're going to say goodbye to Evan real quick. Thank you again for coming in. Thank you for paving the way, and everyone, make sure you check out EC Abrams on Behance.
Always
Thank
a
you very much.
pleasure. I'm going to go update right now. Whee!
Then there were two, so it's great to have you on here. I obviously am a fan of your work. It's been nice having you as part of the Behance community. How long have you been streaming with us? A little bit over a year, right?
I just made a year. Yeah, I made a year Sunday. I don't stream on Sundays, but I made a year on a Sunday. So just
That's
made a
fantastic. And I asked this to Evan as well when he first came on. Had you ever done much streaming prior to streaming on Behance, or is this kind of your first forte into the
streaming on Behance was like my very first time streaming ever. So the very first video to like now, there's just such a mass difference in just like equipment, what we're using, what I'm streaming. I think the very first stream, I'm like in Photoshop. I don't even use Photoshop, and somehow I was streaming in Photoshop, and now it's just more put together, definitely more put together. But
that is to say that anyone can really get up and get started. It seems very intimidating at first, and it always seems strange with all of the equipment and the technicals of programs. But the more you do it, the more it evolves. And, you still look back at your first stuff and you think, wow, that's not where I am today. But it still was enjoyable content that you created to begin with.
Oh, yeah. I started on my little MacBook with OBS, and it was all like, so everything just kind of plugged in that poor little MacBook, just chugging along like it could, that poor thing. So eventually I had to upgrade, and now I'm on like a home built PC. I've got a somewhat nice camera going right here, nice little microphone,
a nice little backdrop too.
Yeah, right.
I like your creativity takes courage. That's really nice.
Backdrop I got going on back here.
Very curated.
Big difference from where I was probably about a year ago. So. And you can definitely see the progression too if you watch all the videos from then to now. There's definitely more confidence, more cohesiveness and everything. At the very beginning, I was just nervous, like, oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine getting on live, and it's just very quiet. Now, just way more animated, way more myself. So I love it. I love streaming. It's so much fun. So much fun. Love you guys. Hi, guys.
I love that it has brought so many great artists together, both viewers and creators. And I definitely made it through 2020 and 2021 through my connections that I've made on this site, which is really good.
I don't think I would have made it.
I know, right?
Like it was so much fun. You just meet so many people, and just being able to actually share your work and just be inspired by other people on the platform, and just sharing ideas and questions. Even though you're the one streaming, you would be surprised the amount of knowledge collectively just in that chat, that little chat box there. Just so much information.
Absolutely. And I've learned quite a few like expressions I know through different viewers telling me I can do something easier, or different tools. I know that you and Jack have definitely been like, stop copy and pasting that. You can go to a radial section and you can fix that and do it in 20 seconds. And then now my entire workflow is different just because I did it live.
And I learned all of that watching Adobe Live. Like I would just work and lurk, and then on Adobe Live, I'd be like, oh, that is so interesting. I'm going to bring that over onto my stream, and then I'll share that on stream and be like, okay, y'all got to do it this way now because I just learned it. Now y'all got to learn it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. And you also are providing so much more, not only with your knowledge, but you also have these great resources for your subscriptions, for your subscribers. So I guess that's probably the best time to bring in that and say, what's your...
Yeah. So did you want me to share?
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I have like all the background stuff. I can actually get into it. Oh, snap.
I love that Panther, by the way. That's very cool.
Oh, thank you. So,
is that what you're working on this morning?
Well, no, we're working on the iPad, but if we have time, I'll do a quick demo for what's coming up next. But yeah, so subscriptions, what I'm offering, I'm just offering some vector-based assets that pretty much anyone can use in their work. So like brushes, for instance, go in here. This is I don't remember when I even released this, but this is like just one of my mega brush packs. You just go through it, shows you how to use it, and just all of these brushes is what was offered. You can go in, you can download and get all of these, and if you have any issues with them, you can always just message me and I help you troubleshoot them. And then every month I also do a demo. So like right here, I do a little demo and I show you how to use them. And if you have questions, we're live, we're together, we're working, we're having fun. You have access to it, I have access to it, and we're able to sit there and just kind of work through it all together. And just it's fun. I love it. So for instance, like last month, I did a spooky vector pack. So like this was really, really fun. So I just released this one. This was for the month of October. So these are all the cute little Halloween stuff. And I actually just threw this particular one together. So I threw that together and then came on, we did a live stream, and together we worked on creating some assets. So I showed everyone how you can go in and we just made a couple little Halloween cards and it was really fun. And you just go in and change them up. This one we made impromptu. I ended up adding extra assets. So also, if whatever I'm making live, sometimes I make that available to you as well. So you actually have access to these cards and to this design as well. So I made that available for everyone as a little impromptu thing. And I thought I had one more. Oh yeah, look right here. Here we go. This one was fun too. So I enjoy designing for clothing. That's really fun. So we made patterns. We did leggings, and I showed you how to apply everything onto a mock-up. I don't make
Live,
mock-ups.
laugh, haunt.
Yeah, live, laugh, haunt. One of the viewers came up with that. I don't remember who it was, but they came up with that. And we just make fun stuff. And I just show you how to use it. You just ask questions. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. And then the next month, I try to top myself every month. I really do. And every other month, I'm also sending out fun little stickers and things. So I just got this giant sticker and I'm showing everybody. I'm like, look at it.
Oh,
It's
wow.
the
That's
size
awesome.
of my hand. So whatever we create together, sometimes I'll get it printed and I'll get it like sent out to y'all and stuff like that. But
It's fantastic. I know I used some of your assets that you had for spookiness on my personal stream. So I have the little pumpkins float by, which I love because the little jack-o'-lanterns are so well made and have so much personality to them.
oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I do work really hard on that. And I love because the best way for me to learn Illustrator and how I learned Illustrator was deconstructing other people's illustrations. And then you can get access to a lot of free vector assets online, but they're not constructed as well, I guess you can say.
Mhm.
So I try to put things together in a way that you can learn from deconstructing them and things like that. And just
Absolutely.
anything that's really going to help push you along and help you learn. And then we jump on here and we just do it all together. So
Cool.
But-
Well, what are you working on here?
yes. So this next coming month, I did a texture pack. So I went out through the state of Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. I went out into the swamp and I took a bunch of photos of all kinds of amazing things. And now I can apply it to my illustrations. So let's see, I'm gonna do this like super quick. I don't want to get caught up into it, but I'm currently trying to work on my own clothing line. So this is one of my little designs for something that I'll be doing soon. And just show you guys the assets I put together coming up. You'll actually be able to use and apply to apparel. So these are all of them. You can actually see inside my super secret folder.
cool.
This is everything you're getting. You're getting TIFFs and JPEGs. And I worked really hard cutting some of these out, getting all these down. There's tons of textures. I have flower pots. I have cracked marble, rocks, tree stumps. There's a lot of wood in here. But we went on vacation back in August, and I just took so many pictures. And I decided, well, I'm going to utilize these and make them available to everybody.
Yeah, and something that you've really strong suit is having texture integrated within Illustrator. And that's something that I really want to learn more by watching your live streams.
And I want to make sure you have the tools available to you so that you can do that. And I do it in so many different ways. And I just want to make sure that that is available to you. So because this is a TIFF, it is bitmapped, you can change the color. So you can go in, you won't be able to do this with a JPEG, but you can actually go in and just change the color of this TIFF. which is awesome
That's
because
so
that
cool.
means when you send it out to be screen printed, if you want to have something screen printed, they can export this as a film. So I can
Oh, and so then it just be its own layer.
yes, it's its own little thing, and it can be exported, and they can actually print this out. So I'm just going to take that, pop that right over there. I'm just going to hit that magic button, and now if we zoom in here, my little he has all of his little spots, but we also have this beautiful texture right up in here, homemade, homegrown Southern texture.
Only textures from the South.
It is only textures from the South. All throughout South Louisiana. But that's what we have there. So let's say, so these are my like little shirt colors. Let's say I want to change my shirt color and I don't want it to be this pink color. Let's say I want it to be something else. I can just go ahead, click in there and change it to something else. It just makes it so much easier to work with and it's so much fun. And then you can also go in, and if I don't plan on getting it printed, I can go in and I can mess with the opacities. I can come in and I can just lower that down, make it super, super subtle, and just have a lot of fun with that. And like I said, there's so many different textures in this pack. I'm excited, and I can't wait till next week when I get to come on and show you all how to use them. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah. So speaking of which, when do you live stream on your Behance?
I live stream every Tuesday and Thursday, 7:30 Central Standard Time, bright and early because I'm an early bird. Like
So I'm always catching the replays.
the early bird special. I know everyone's like, "Why do you stream so early?" It's like because that's when I have the most energy.
No, I mean that's important. You
I'm a
can
little-
see you have a gallery's worth of so many different projects.
Yeah.
Everything from illustration to design, and just really having a nice big a swath of expertise. So it's always really cool to see working on something different or seeing something that is developing over many different streams. Like this wilding that you have in 3 different parts. You have the fall sticker that later became part of your subscription.
Yep.
It's fun to see all of that. What do you have planned for next week?
So next week we're just gonna go over how to use all of these textures, and I also have a bonus brush pack. But I'm not gonna show you. You gotta tune in to see it.
Absolutely. And so your Behance, I know, is just behance.net/Kimmy Jaffron.
Yep.
Or wait, how do I say Jaffron? Did I say it right?
Jofran.
Jaffron? Okay, all right. Yeah, this is
Joe.
close. This is close. And you predominantly stream from both Illustrator, but you also are streaming from Illustrator on the iPad, which is cool.
Yes, I'm trying out Illustrator on the iPad. Some amazing things have come out for it. Today was my first day to actually stream from it, and I had fun. So I'll try and exercise my skills in that a little bit and see how that works out for us. And it did pretty good. So
And you
we'll
were
be
able
doing
to
that.
just go live straight from within the app. You just click the little share button up here, and then it goes straight to live, right?
Yes, you can actually stream right from the app. So some days I might just be lazy and not even want to come into my office and just stream from the app. If I'm streaming from the app, I guarantee you I'm on my couch.
Oh, right.
So
But yeah, you also have your wonderful overlays, and you have a good feeling of branding to the whole experience, which is really cool, which is obviously all things that are additive, and you don't necessarily have to have it as something in order to go live, but it does add that extra
yeah.
flair and that extra piece of personality that really brings your stream to the next level, which is cool.
And it's just extra stuff that I picked up from watching like Anna, Cody Bear, you, just watching everybody stream that I just noticed. I'm like, oh, I kind of want to do that. So I just kind of sat down one day and just branded myself out and put all these little things together. And I actually created the starting soon page, the be right back page, all of that. I created that in Illustrator and then brought it into Photoshop and just made a quick GIF out of it all. It was super simple.
So what would you say is one of the biggest takeaways from live streaming for you and streaming your process? Do you feel like it has affected the way that you work or the outcome of your pieces?
Oh yeah, definitely. So when I'm live streaming my processes, I find I actually have to consolidate everything down into more concise and digestible pieces versus the very sporadic way that I normally work. So just so everyone can kind of understand exactly what I'm doing, and has actually taught me that the most efficient way for me to work is to work large and work my way down. Into the details. So I find that from streaming, I've actually created this process that I've become faster to develop illustrations.
Oh yeah, I mean that's also part of it is the idea of showmanship and the idea of having something feeling the need to have it completed. You don't necessarily have to, but I have gotten faster in a lot of facets because I'm like, oh, okay, people don't want to watch me have to troubleshoot this, so I have to kind of get
Yeah.
through it as fast as I can.
Like with the sketching, I always have a sketch prepared. I can never just jump on and be like, all right, we're going to do the sketch first. No, because it normally takes me hours to like hatch out a sketch. And we want to get to the meat. We want to get to the fun part of vectorizing everything and showing you how to use all the cool effects. So you don't want to sit here and watch me sketch everything. You want to see how it actually comes together.
I mean, I would love to see you sketch as well, but I also get the idea of not wanting to have that all put on blast. It
Yeah.
could get in the way a little bit.
Yeah.
So where do you see that this Panther would probably end up? Is this a graphic element that you'll have as a Behance project, or would
Oh,
you
this
ever
is
see
actually
this on some stuff?
this is going to be for my apparel that's going to be released next spring. So I'm working on that.
Ooh, a whole line of stuff.
Yes, yes, I'm working on shirts, leggings, sweatshirts, water bottles, all kinds of stuff. So,
Oh,
and
is that a dog? Do we have a dog cam?
yes,
Dog
no dog
cam!
cam, no dog cam. But
Oh,
wait, if I move over, he's back there. Hey, come
oh,
here.
look at him. This is going to be in the highlight reel.
Come
I know there are a few streamers that have set up. Oh, hello. Oh man, he's gonna
You
eat the whole
can't talk.
microphone.
He's like, yes, I am dog.
I'm dog.
You stay right there.
But no, it's very cool. Oh, look at him. He's just so perfectly in tune with it. So I also see that you're using Camo. What does Camo do?
Oh, that's just got the iPhone hooked up. I had an extra iPhone laying around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like another camera. So I was
Now,
gonna
do you
try.
predominantly use a iPhone when you're just using a regular stream, or do you just webcam?
No, I actually use a different webcam, but I just wanted to kind of test this one out to see how
Mhm.
it worked. And I actually like it's a free app. So it's a free app. So if you don't have a webcam, you don't need to buy one. You can actually use your iPhone and just connect it with the cord that it comes with to your computer. Download this app, and it uses your phone's camera. And it's actually really good. I mean, you do get the little watermark in the corner. So Camo got like free representation here today.
So apologize for that. I think
But
it's really important to be able to call out and openly discuss the different platforms and resources that we use to live stream because it seems so scary to so many people.
and I am all about the free resources,
Yeah.
because when you're first starting, the most intimidating is having to get all this equipment and knowing how expensive it is, when in fact there are a lot of free resources out there that you can download and use and just communicate with other live streamers, and they can tell you. I do all the time, and I'm always asking like, what are y'all using for this? And someone's like, I'm using this and this, and it's free. I'm like, oh, I'm using that one. I like the free one.
Sean does say testing on Max, brave. Just going full chaotic. I love the chaotic energy.
Yeah.
Katarina says she uses Droid Cam, which also sounds good. I know there's OBS Ninja, which actually I don't think it's called OBS Ninja anymore. Now it's like Drop Ninja or something.
Yeah, I
And
think they
that also
changed the
gives
name.
you capabilities to also live stream from a phone or other device with a camera. I know that Jan is saying I use no cam, which is also totally valid as well. There's
Yep.
lots of people that hop on and live stream just with the canvas, and people like to see things develop and how people sketch things out. I know you said you don't do your sketches, but it is nice sometimes to see the sketches. And yeah, no, it's a journey to say the least. Do you use OBS when you're streaming?
Yes, always. I've mastered it. I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
It was intimidating at first, but it actually was super, super easy to just kind of download and get on there. So I was like, oh, this actually isn't that bad. Because I thought there was gonna be a learning curve. I am a simple Southern girl, y'all. I can't like do a lot. But if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. Trust me.
But I also feel it has some overlap and parallels with using layers in Illustrator or Photoshop, and the
Yeah.
idea of being able to stack different sources and having different graphics come in and out when you need them. This today is actually filmed through a thing called StreamYard, which makes it really easy to bring people in and out. But if you can have something that has an RTMP URL outsourced, you can stream from that. And also, if you're looking to live stream yourself, you can do it no matter what if you have iPad.
Yep.
And then if you're a Creative Cloud member, I think you should have desktop access as well. And if not, just apply for it. I know at the beginning we played a little bit of the Sizzle for live streaming, but for those that are just joining now, I'd like to play it again. So
Play it again. Play it again.
We are glad to have you.
I'm on the couch. I'm king of the couch.
I'm king of the couch.
King of the couch.
Love that
That's
part.
so cute.
That's from Tom Thinks, who will actually be on the show tomorrow around the same time. And he uses Animate and some scripting to have different animations pop all around, which is totally above my head.
I know that was just so cute though, because it all like goes with everything.
Next level. I know Jess is saying in the chat right now, she says streamers, all right, we use that for the community fun streams, which you guys should also check out, which are really great overviews of ways that Adobe is really integrating themselves and providing funds and resources to people with pitching of ideas that are larger than your regular go ahead. And so you guys can check that out. They stream, I think, like every Wednesday or every other Wednesday. Maybe you can go ahead and put that in the chat, Jess, but that's also something to check out. I know that there's somebody saying they're looking for people to also stream and find new streamers. You can always go to behance.net/live and you'll be able to see all of the current live streams as well as some replays and events for other live streams that are coming up or are going on or have happened in the past. So make sure you check out behance.net/live. And then back to Kimmy, though. I don't mean to take too much time away from your spotlight.
You're fine.
I know that you've been on Behance longer than you have been live streaming, though. And you do have quite the amount of beautiful projects. I wanted to see if you had a personal favorite of yours.
Oh goodness.
Putting you on the spot because I did not prep you for that.
What is your favorite project? Off the top of my head, I really like the salsa one or the hot sauce one. Where's that one at? Yeah, the hothead one. That one was really fun. Melt your face off.
Oh, I really like your brewery one with the terrifying sun. It's one of my favorites personally.
Such a big fan of that terrifying one. I also really like the cat one, the Battlelands one, because
this one, yeah.
the cute little folds in the cat, and that was all done in Illustrator.
But this was done traditionally, right?
Oh, that was Fresco.
This was Fresco. Wow.
It was Fresco. I have
Love
to
being
use
fooled
different
by
colors
Fresco.
to kind of, set the scene and everything and break everything apart. Otherwise, it just all looks like garbage to me. So that's why I really enjoy sketching in Frescoes, because I can just kind of break everything up as I'm working.
It's just incredible the transformation from concept to finalized piece. And so you said this was all built in vectors, though,
That is
individually?
all vector.
Oh my god.
All vector.
That is terrifying. How long do you think this piece took you?
Oh gosh, I think it's actually all recorded. I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 days. Took a
Wow.
hot minute. And then there was also the South LA1 piece with the alligator and the pelican. The pelican came out really good. I actually had those printed into stickers. Coming soon to a
Saw the
subscriber
alligator.
near you.
Look at that. That's crazy. So did you decide to not go with the... Oh, no, you're just using the X's for perspective. Oh,
Yeah, that was just all like placement and stuff.
Look at that. This is triggering for me. Like, you can't even see anything. It's just
There's
a
so
flurry of
much.
anchor points.
I think I might have even put like how many was in there, because in Illustrator you can actually get a count. You can get a count of how much is in there.
Sometimes I don't want to know. You know, it's kind of ignorance is bliss in these situations.
I switched to desktop and I was like, we can do so much more.
Oh, gosh. Throw everything at it. It won't fail.
The kitchen sink. What else do we have? So yeah, you can really see a difference between that work and then the Deco Space ones, which is like an earlier work that was probably done like over a year ago.
Wow. Oh, and these are the ones that became the stickers that you were showing earlier.
Yes. Yes, those are the
Very
ones I
cool.
actually did about a year ago. So you can really see the transition between where we were a year ago and where we are now. And that's just through streaming. So it's another thing is just it's a beautiful record of like how far you've come as an illustrator, as a designer. And it's all documented.
Absolutely. And it's also just like an excuse to continue to create new work that necessarily you weren't expecting to make, or you just make it for yourself, really. It's so easy to get wrapped up and tied to client work and stuff that isn't fully your passion. But when you're on live streaming, you can actually just create things that you want to create, which is nice.
Yes, work on your passion projects, push the boundaries. I always want to push the boundaries of Illustrator. Let's see how far we can go with it. Let's crash it. Make sure we save a copy. Let's crash it. I know I've crashed it quite a few times, and I'm just like,
I mean, I'm not surprised with how many anchor points were on that other one.
Yeah, it's like, guys, I think we lost this one. We've actually lost a few illustrations to crashes.
Oh man, yes. So always save your work, guys. And then also, if you save it in the cloud, it will automatically save. So you just have to have that initial save first to kind of activate it to save somewhere.
And the integration between the cloud and the desktop and the iPad is so beautiful, and it's even better now with Max Out. It just came out and everything, because you can now go between Fresco to Illustrator on the iPad to desktop. It's amazing, and you just all save it in the cloud and you never lose anything. And if you delete in the cloud, you can actually go back and find it, because I accidentally deleted something not too long ago.
Oh my god, that's a lifesaver. I had that saving with a client product one time because I had saved over top of something, and then I needed version history, and I just went into the cloud, and it saved me so much headache.
Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, thank God I found this piece, because
Yeah,
I was really upset.
Had to lost double-digit hours on things had that not been there. So
like, it took me forever to sketch. You can't tell me I lost it. I would have cried.
All right. Well, we're at half the hour though, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna bring in Storm. I'll leave you two as well, so that you guys can say hello. But let me cue up her intro, and then we'll hop on over. Hey, look, it's Storm.
Hi, hello.
Hello. Welcome from the other side of the pond. So you're way over in Europe. So
Yes.
this is very cool being able to bring everyone together and talk about their experience. So.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Hi.
Hi.
And of course, Kimmy's here as well. We were just going over her live streaming and her subscriptions. And we were learning a lot about Illustrator and Illustrator on the iPad and kind of her experience as she continues to have this journey of 1 year of live streaming, which is very cool.
No, I was watching. It's incredible. The sort of things you're able to do in Illustrator. I struggle so much. I was attempting bits of it today, and just to see the scope of your work, it's incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, no,
Right. Well, I
well
will let
deserved.
you go though, and we will sign off. Then we will start talking to Storm. But thank you for stopping by, and talk to you
Bye.
soon.
Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
Bye. All
Oh my
right, and
god, I
then there
love
were
these little
two.
transitions.
Well, thank you very much. I put some time into them. I knew that we were going to have an audience, so I had to make sure that we kept them entertained. But you also put a lot of time and effort into a very cool sizzle that you have going over your stuff that I checked out last night and I thought was wonderful. So, do you want to cue it up in any
Ooh.
way, or should I just hit go?
No, you by all means, please just go. I'm
Let's
cringing
go.
already.
So here you guys go.
My name is Storm. Nice to meet you if I've never met you before. And I am going to take you through some art drills today. What we're going to do today is do some stylized portraits. I have been wanting to get back into animation, so this has been like a nice change of pace. Oh, and by the way, if you're not making funny noises while you're animating, you're not doing it correctly. We still have the turkey sandwich to do, but we'll see how I feel. I might get carried away with the bread, like I have been. In which case, then we just finish the bread. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for giving me your time and energy today. I will see you next Monday, and I wish you a very good week. Thanks so much, guys. I will see you later. Bye. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Is this like an African or a European swallow? Because...
Perfect ending. Perfect ending. I also really related to the fact that you said that if you're not making noises while you're animating, you're not doing it right.
Oh, definitely. I have moments where you just squeal because something is working and it's uncontrollable. It's just, yeah. If you're not making noises, then I think you haven't quite gotten into the zone yet.
Well, you also are a veteran streamer as well. You're not streaming for the first time on Behance. You actually have had quite a history with also streaming like on Twitch and YouTube, I believe.
Yeah.
Now, what got you into streaming, and how long has it been?
Oh gosh, talking about Twitch. I started streaming on Twitch maybe 2016. I originally started streaming because I guess I was lonely. It sounds kind of sad to say, but I wanted to meet some like-minded people. I was part of other communities, and I just loved what people were able to create and the people that they were able to meet. And to be honest with you, I wanted some of that myself. I wanted to make friends. So I started streaming art actually initially on Twitch and transitioned slowly into games.
And then you got to bring it back around with Behance when you actually
Yeah.
had the central place to actually continue to do artwork, and then you can also do games over when you want to do games.
Absolutely. It's been nice to have like a dedicated space because with Twitch, they had removed the creative spaces at one point, and it was hard for creators to just be seen there. But on Behance, it's pretty much dedicated for creatives. So it's just nice to have a place made for us, you know? So.
And I know that you animate, you illustrate, you design. Looks like you have paints behind you. How would you identify as an artist, and kind of how would you categorize yourself if you had to?
Oh, if I had to?
You had
to. Okay. My earliest career, I started off as a 2D animator. I studied animation at uni. And when I graduated, I worked in animation for 2 years. And then I think like a lot of artists do, you kind of morph and transition into the other areas that your skill sets kind of fit into. So I went into design work, I went into illustration work. And yeah, I would say, I wouldn't say I'm quite a generalist, but if you give me maybe 24 hours with a program, I'll be able to do something.
Yeah, you're a fast learner. You can pick things up, which is also such a. We were talking a little bit about it with Kimmy, but the idea of doing everything on production and on stage, of the idea of a live stream, makes you a little bit more of a yes and person, because you are figuring something out and you're like, all right, I don't want to waste too much time. I'm live. Let's figure it out. So it kind of gives you that extra motivation to continue to learn new things and be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Oh, 100%. I mean, starting off in commercial animation, the turnover is so quick. You don't really have time to get too comfortable. You're chucking things out so quickly. And then when I went fully freelance, you kind of don't want to say no to projects. You say yes, and you learn it later, right? So,
Absolutely.
and that's how a lot of my early freelance career went. I just learned as I went. I had to be confident enough in myself that I could do it. There
Right.
was no reason that I couldn't, not in an egotistical way, but in a have faith in yourself sort of
You gotta
way.
make that initial jump.
Yeah, and you'll be
Jose says,
surprised.
Jose in the chat is saying you may categorize yourself as I am Storm, period.
I like that. I think I'm going to do that from now on. I am Storm.
But I do know that you also brought a little bit of work that we actually saw over in the Sizzle, but you also have it kind of pulled up here within Photoshop. And it looks like you did get through the bread. I know in your Sizzle you say, I don't know if we're going to get through all the bread, but if we do, we'll just do the bread.
I actually did finish the bread. Yeah. Regular viewers will know that somehow we always end up back talking about food on my streams. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. So
do you ever have a mukbang?
Oh, that would be dangerous. I have been wanting to, but I think that would be dangerous.
I never feel like I am comfortable enough with the way that I look while I eat to ever make that enjoyable for anyone. But it's a thing. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Are you supposed to look pretty while you eat? Like I'm about the food at that instance.
I'm quite the opposite of pretty when I eat, so it's better when it's drawn.
I don't believe you now. I don't believe you. But no, this project has been great. We come back to this sort of thing every now and again. My sister, who is also a streamer on Behance, she does modeling in 3D, and one of the things she really enjoys modeling is the food art I draw. And recently she's been like, hey, can you draw more food? So I'm like, okay, why don't we stream food and make everyone hungry? Why not?
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with it. If you don't want to eat on stream, but then you're doing food related things, I snack too much on candy when I stream, but that's a whole different thing.
Do you?
Yeah.
I would not be able to sit still. I'd be a shaking mess. I'm so
I
sensitive
am.
to it.
I mean,
Oh.
I actually had to. I'm not even kidding. I'm not normally in this room, but I'm in this room right now. But back when I was in here full time, I actually had to mount my camera onto the wall because I would like shake my leg and I'd like move around too much that then like everything would kind of vibrate.
Oh my god!
We've moved past that now. We have a
thank
full
goodness.
setup. But I remember having to do that, especially during lockdown, which was funny.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it was
Sugar's
great.
a hard one. I wish I had a sweet tooth though. Like, give me sushi and then I might struggle. But
sashimi, just like. But so, what is this project from? Is this just you wanted to create some food for Pixie, or is this more of something that you had a sandwich to eat for the day and you decided it was a good way to illustrate?
No, this was a illustration for Pixie, but talking about the avocado toast, we do have this one, which is the one we finished for her earlier. More bread and food related things. But what I like doing on my streams is try to destigmatize using references, whether that's through earlier in the video, I was saying we did stylized portraits. And here we have a whole bunch of references on the left with my mood board. There was this, I don't know, idea that using references was bad. And if you did, you weren't a real artist. And I just couldn't understand that. So in my streams, I get people comfortable with looking around for references, compiling mood boards, and using different elements to put an image together, which is kind of what we've done here. I take the position of one image with the innards of another, the color of this, and you kind of put it together and make your own thing out of it. which
Yeah, at the top of
yeah.
the stream, Evan was bringing up the idea of a magician and the idea of showing the tricks and how it's done. And I think that for me, live streaming was really a sobering moment where I was learning that a lot of things that I learned through stigmas or just through peer pressure in college weren't necessarily the standard for everyone, and also for the artists that I looked up to.
Yeah.
And having references, I think, is one of the real ones that I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a reference. You're gonna have a better final product if you actually have a good core concept and an idea of what the thing is that you're making. So I really
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
And they're vital. Certainly at the beginning, I have a lot of new artists, new creative users that come into my stream, and they don't really know where to start. And it's like, well, how do I get good at drawing? And it's like it's a huge question. It's like, well, to break it down into its simplest parts, you got to do the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are understanding the way things work, and you can do that easily by drawing from reference, drawing people, go outside and draw the thing that you see. I always say that one of the best things my art teacher ever told me was draw what you see, not what you think you see, because it's very easy to look away from the reference just long enough to kind of make it up as you go along, and you come back and it's like, why is that eye up there? Why doesn't that look solid, you know?
Right.
So it's, yeah, I would love people to allow themselves to help themselves, you know, get in your own way when you think you have to do it this way. It's like, why make
Yeah.
life hard for yourself? They're there for a reason, you know, and there's a difference between using a reference and copying. So
Absolutely. Kyle says references are inspiring and maybe allow you to combine new ideas, which is also great. You don't have to your point, create the same thing that you see, but it is enough to be like, oh, I like maybe how that looks, but I like the angle of this one, and you can combine different stuff, which is cool.
exactly, like a lot of the artists that really inspire me, there's one really amazing one called Rosh Tran, and he's quite famous for doing photo manipulations and then drawing over them and creating his own image from that. And it's just so cool to see that, like, where the base is and then what he transforms it into. And that's still hard to do. And people say, oh, well, you're not being a real artist. It's like, well, then you try and do that. It's not easy,
right.
you know?
Like,
So-
you want to play chicken? All right, then we'll play chicken then. All right.
Totally. And it's, yeah, so I would just love for people to, if you like the way that looks, go study it, go look at it, go try. And then when you encounter the problem, then you can at least start on improving that specific problem, because if you don't know what the problem is, how can you fix it? So yeah, just making it a little bit smaller and a little bit easier, and it's a fun thing to do for myself as well, going back to basics, because it's so easy to get into the grind of creating work and things like that, and it is nice to come back to value studies or anatomy drawings. Life drawing is so much fun. It's so nice.
I used to go to a life drawing course before lockdown where we would just meet up and just call it Tree Control every Wednesday. And it was like going
amazing.
to the gym. It was so nice. It was ridiculously cheap. It was like $5 and you got 2 hours with a model and unlimited beer. And I was like, this is
amazing.
Why is this so cheap? But everyone was really great. And I got a lot better. It's something that I definitely miss. But life drawing is very, very cool. And speaking of which, you also, with pulling back the curtain and teaching artists to work honestly, I think that this is a really good transition also to talk a little bit about your subscription, because within your subscriptions, I know that you also offer PSDs and you also show your references. So I'm going to go ahead and play the what's in your subscription.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it. For my subscriptions, I'm a little bit behind compared to a lot of the other artists, but my subscriptions are basically, I give you my files. And again, in trying to demystify the whole artistic process, I'm quite bad. Admittedly, I like to draw on one layer because I'm lazy. Don't be like me. But when I remember to draw on multiple layers, I've saved out the original Photoshop document. I've rendered out a time lapse, like a relatively easy to watch time lapse, like 5 or 10 minutes, and give you access to all my references.
I mean, I
And
think
that's
that's
what I offer.
phenomenal. It's so easy to kind of have the idea of like a final piece with no references, no time lapse, and just be like, that's what it is. People ask you how you do it, and like I drew it. But then to be
Mm.
able to educate people and show the process, and show the source, and show how you get from A to B, I think is at $5 a month is like, once again, kind of with the life drawing thing. $5 a month is accessible. It's wonderful. I think that you give a lot of bang for your buck, and it's really exciting to see where this is going to go. Do you have plans
you.
For kind of other things you'll be offering, even if that is like a PSD file? Or are you going to be working on any new character portraits in the future?
I would love to. Doing the stylized portraits is one of my all-time favorite things to do, aside from draw and talk about food. So I would love to do more things like that. But also, as my background is in animation, I think it would be nice to give people animation files to look at, or like animated files for people to have a play around with, because I think a lot of it just seems very intimidating until you can see how it's done, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. And animation is definitely one of those that requires you to sit a little bit and wrap your head around. So I'd love to, I mean, we already have a couple of streams where we did go through some animation projects, so it's just a case of me condensing that down and putting that up. But I would love to move more into the animation side.
By the way, you also have a comment from Wade. He says, "One layer, my new best friend."
Oh God, don't be like me.
No.
You'll regret it. Don't do it.
But also, I also do agree with, like, I'm a very much a layers person, and non-destructive as well, with the whole idea of After Effects and the idea that like everything isn't going to be rasterized into one place. Um, and I think that something is gained by that, but I also think something is lost. And the idea of being in art class back in high school and just getting a canvas and being like, every decision you make dictates other moves that you're going to have to make in the future. So be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I know I keep bringing that up, but I think
It's
that
true. I
live
mean,
streaming creates such a vulnerability, which is so nice.
I agree with you. I mean, there is a slight method to my madness. Working on one layer means I can't be too precious with my work.
Yeah.
Which means that I do it, and if it doesn't work, then I just draw over it. And I'm not constantly going to find layers, and it's just like, create for the joy of creating, not to make it perfect. And the more you do, the more you'll enjoy the process. So I think, subconsciously anyway, the reason why I draw on one layer is so I'm not too precious with the work that I do, and that I can say it's done, let me move on, because I can't find the layer where that dot is anyway. So let's go.
just Control Shift E. We're good to go.
Yeah.
It's time to just flatten it all.
Exactly.
Wade says no regrets.
None whatsoever.
But do you miss 2D animation at all? I know that you do some stuff procedurally, but it seems like for the most part you're doing a lot of static work lately.
Yes, I do. That was one of my first loves. It was what I spent my time at uni doing. It was my first job, my first professional job, really. So it does have a very special place in my heart. And I think maybe there is part of me, which I'm sure a lot of people out there will empathize with, that it has a bit of imposter syndrome with it,
Right.
for someone that, like, I didn't actually send you my show reel. I should have sent you my show reel. I had Angry Birds on my show reel. I had other cartoons from Cartoon Network and Warner Brothers that I had worked on. And when you aren't actively doing that thing for a while and you get rusty, and the imposter syndrome really starts to set in. And I think that's part of why I haven't gone as hard with the animation as I would have liked to.
Absolutely.
Which is terrible, because if anyone came to me with that, I would say you have to try because you deserve to experience and mess up and get better. But it's one of those things that's easier said than done, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So, but we're getting there. I mean, like this project, this one was so much fun to do, and it took us 2 streams, and at the time I streamed for about 3 to 4 hours each week. And that didn't take too long to do at all. And
I mean, this is very extensive. It has what? It has a pen. It has a switch. It has a bottle. I think it's like 4 things total. Right. Yeah, and a phone.
Yeah, this one was so much fun because we decided what to create on stream. So the audience threw out a couple of objects. We again went and found our references. We put them together. We built them together in Illustrator. Then, you know, we were learning how to import and then slowly animate and working through shapes and keyframes and the easy ease and everything. And it felt nice to kind of return to my roots a little bit and to show
Absolutely.
and to teach people. This is the animation, by the way, that I made a lot of noise in. So if you're curious, because
I mean, for me, it's just all of them, though. All of them require noise.
Yeah, it's fun, and sometimes I do forget just how much fun I have when I am actually creating. You know, you get in your own way when you overthinker. So yeah, definitely more animation streams are coming for sure.
I mean, I would love to see them. I'm always all about it, but I also am comfortable with learning things that I'm not familiar with, like your food illustration and your portraiture, which about like a year or so ago, I also tried to hop into portraiture, and it is no understatement or overstatement to say that portraiture is just one of those things that it takes so much skill and talent and time to really master. And I think that you have managed to really master it and come up with a really cool style with it as well, you know, because it's also hard to take it and add your own spin to it. And I think that yours really do reflect an approach that only you have. And I can be like, oh, that must be Storm's.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You know, it's funny on the subject of style because I never considered myself to have one because as an animator, you are kind of a bit of a copy artist. Unless you are the lead animator, it's your job to, certainly in like traditional animation, to match the character model. You're copying someone else's style and adding the motion. So I guess I got quite comfortable with having a fluid look. So when it comes to drawing my own thing, I'm like, I don't remember how I drew that eye last time or I render hands in this example.
Which is why I could never be an animator in that sense, though, because it's just like the meticulous replication that you have to do is just something that I envy, and I have never been that comfortable with. But I mean, just look at these hands. These hands are so... They're just hands, but they have such a cool style. They kind of give me Borderland vibes, where they had that that cartoon realism, where it kind of feels like it was realistic, and then kind of there's a cartoon overlay on top of it.
This is another example of us finding some references. I'm always telling people where like my favorite stock image websites are, and we find a reference and we're like, okay, I like this about the image, but let's add some jewelry. Let's did I send you the other one with the purple nails? I'm not sure.
Yes, you did. Let me pull it up real quick.
Let's add some nails. Let's customize this. Let's put our own spin on it so we can have fun with it. Plus, I was like, you know, I'm really bad at drawing hands. You know what I'm going to force myself to do for the next couple of weeks? Hands. So
man,
that's how a lot of my streams go. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's very admirable. I need to learn how to do hands a little bit better, but I would never consider you to be not great with hands, because I mean, these both have so much strength and they feel so solid. And then, yeah, to your point, it's really cool that you were able to take the nails and add that gradient, and then also reflect it in the tea as well, which is really cool.
Thank you. But that's the thing. Like this is what I'm trying to tell people. Identify where your weakness is and then go head on. So my weakness, I was definitely one of those artists that like to hide the hands between in the pockets or behind the head
Yeah.
sort of thing. And I'm like,
Yeah, they
you
put them
know
in the
what?
sweatshirt.
Exactly. And it's like, you know what? I would like to be able to draw a hand. So as uncomfortable as it was to really show my weakness, certainly on live streaming in front of people, it was like, I just have to push through this. So let's find a way to incorporate it into the stream. So if I have to do it, you guys have to do it too. So
And you're getting a lot of love in the chat. Jess says you're
aw,
amazing with hands.
thank you.
Jake Green says I love this style. Naoto Dady says love your work. More animation, please. So
It's
you've got
coming. Thank you so
you've
much.
got the people.
Thank you. All the terrible things that you have been avoiding in art class are coming.
Oh,
We will
gosh.
suffer together.
Coming with the storm.
Yes, absolutely.
Now we are close to the top of the hour, so I'm going to go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah, no, time flies, right?
Wow.
But I wanted to see if there's anything else you wanted to share before we go ahead and bring in Anna and Anthony, who are up next.
Oh gosh,
But-
no, it's been great to just kind of share what I'm doing and talk to you and everyone. You know, you've all been so welcoming. Thank you. I've really enjoyed my time on Behance, and I'm looking forward to just continuing to learn and grow and get better together, because you can always learn.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
if you're lucky, you'll learn forever, and that's what I intend to keep doing. So
Potato saying never knew about Behance community session. Wow. And obviously Storm is a leader in the front. She's really helping kind of create the community and lead by example. But everyone can stream, whether it's on iPad or through desktop. And we hope to see yours alongside it, Potato. But if you also don't want to stream, there's also wonderful, wonderful community of viewers that just like to hop around and watch Storm. And so, Storm, when did you say you're going to be live next?
So my regular time slot is Monday mornings, because everyone needs to pick me up on Monday, and I tend to stream at about 12 o'clock. I think it's BST, so like my time in London. So first thing in the morning, you can listen to me waffle on about food and various things that I want to eat. And yeah, tomorrow
Get your
will be
appetite rolling for
continuing,
the week.
so. Yes, exactly. But Mondays are my regular streaming slots, Monday morning.
Absolutely. And that is just, I had it up on the screen just a second ago, and that's just behance.net/Storm Stewart. Also, around the rest of the internet on like Instagram too, you're also Storm Stewart as well, right?
Yeah, Stormy Jazzy with a Y. I'm
Stormy
so creative. Just
No,
put
that's
Y's on the end of my
fantastic.
name.
But yeah, those links should also be on her Behance as well. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in Anna, but don't go anywhere real quick because we have to have the torch pass off as well. So, I gotta find my button though. Where's my button? There's my button.
I love that transition. Oh my
I know.
gosh.
It's
Oh,
messy.
thank you. Welcome, you guys.
Great job,
Hey!
Storm.
Woo, Storm. Great job, Ryan.
Loved
Great job,
it.
Storm. Hi, chat.
Yeah, good
Thank
job.
You
all of
guys
you.
did really good at matching your color.
Oh my
I
god,
mean,
yeah.
Anthony,
Actually, the three of us look very autumnal, and Storm is over there
Oh.
just like going full on neon.
I'm sorry.
I love the neon. I love it.
I
love
can
it.
change the color.
Yes!
now.
There we
we all
go.
need that. That's like
Look
the
at
official
that.
streamer thing, right? Is having the
Yeah.
colored lights. We got to do
Yeah.
that.
I
yeah.
have the Hue light bulbs that I am obsessed with, and I drive my roommates crazy because we'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden the lights will change to like orange and purple, and they're like, "I just want to see." I'm like, "Now you can see in color."
I think I saw that on your Instagram story with the Halloween decorations. I loved
Yes.
it.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
it's
check
so
out
good.
Ryan's Instagram stories. Like the
Spooky.
decorations for every holiday, I feel like you guys go to the nines, and I love
Got
it.
to, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's
I
all
love it.
about.
A whole green
Um,
front door and everything.
Oh gosh, don't even bring that up. It's white again. We would paint it back to white. It was a disaster. I had Storm come over and help me with paint.
Yes.
That's what it is.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Storm. Do you have any advice to Anna and Anthony before they're on the investigation lamp for the next half an hour, or interrogation lamp?
Have fun. It's a
Thank you.
really
I did
great
some.
time. You know, I'm enjoying this, and Ryan's doing a great job interviewing, and the
Yeah.
audience is
Well, thank you so
amazing.
much.
So you guys are gonna have fun.
Thank
All
you.
right. Well, we'll see you on Monday, bright and early. And make sure you guys give Storm a follow. So thank you again very much, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye, Storm.
All right. Then there were 3. That's like my almost Seinfeld-esque
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
transition, which
Love
is
it.
so strange. But I
What
was
is
going
that
with the Flunk
instrument?
approach.
Do you know?
It's just Ryan beatboxing.
Me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's my mouth. I'm just a vocal recording.
Surprise.
Lots of people in the chat saying hello to you guys and goodbye to
Hello.
Storm as well. I guess
We've
we
had
should
so many
start
friends
off.
already in the chat.
You already have what in the chat?
So many friends. I see so many familiar
great.
faces as usual. We got, you know how Behance is. It's a close-knit community, but we have just like so many familiar faces coming through on different streams. Love to see it. Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Welcome. I'm Anna Davis Court, a children's book illustrator and streamer. Is this our stream now? Hi.
This is our stream now.
Technical difficulties.
Ryan's still here. I see him, but I don't hear him.
Oh, you can't hear me? Oh,
Okay,
I'm so
now I
sorry. I
can.
didn't realize you
Now I
couldn't hear
can.
me. I was talking to you and it wasn't working. But all right then. Yeah, how about you guys introduce the two of yourselves? Anna kind of did just there. But go for it, and then we'll go from
Oh, Anna, you already did it?
there. Ooh.
Hello, welcome to our stream. Yeah, so I'm a children's book illustrator. This is my best friend Anthony. He reads the chat, and
Hello.
together we make up the duo of Oops All Bloops as well, which is our subscription service. We have a podcast, video podcast. What are we? We're a lot of things.
We're a lot, I think. End of sentence.
Pretty much. I usually stream in Photoshop and Fresco, depending on the day and the feel and the textures that we want. And we just have a lot of fun. Sometimes we do group drawings on occasion. Sometimes we even play video games. We haven't done that on Behance yet. We should start doing that. Animal Crossing update.
Oh yeah.
That's what we'll do. Ryan's
Not
so
wait.
excited.
Bring me over to the fabric shop, and we'll create some textures for clothes. And there you go.
Truly.
It's art.
I agree completely. We designed Cuphead one time in Animal Crossing,
Oh,
and
did
that
you
was
really?
the extent of, yeah, we
Yeah.
made that. And I designed like the flag for my island because it's named Portobello, so I had to draw a mushroom, obviously.
I've been bugging Anna to
downloaded
get
a
back
LaCroix
into
one.
it.
We will eventually. Patience.
Anthony, get
I mean,
on
it's only
it.
been a year. How long should my patience last?
Until
Right.
my island is ready to show.
Right.
Which will
Until
never
preparation
happen.
is complete.
Right.
There's always something to work on, and I guess it just, I always feel like there's more to do before people can see it, but I'm so ready for the update. Anyways, if people don't play Animal Crossing, I don't know. Sorry.
Me.
Do it. It's
Well,
their
you
loss.
know about it. Yeah, do it. Exactly. We're going to get
Mhm.
Anthony Animal Crossing.
But let's talk about your subscription, because you did mention Oops All Bloops. So so what's in your subscription?
In our subscription is a podcast. We do 2 episodes per month, and it's only $3 to sign up. The episodes are usually around an hour, but we've gone over that by quite a lot before. We have some 2-hour ones. And right now what we have is a backlog as well. We've done 6 episodes now, and so you can access all 6 of them if you sign up right now. And yeah, we talk about art, life, and anything that comes to mind. And we also have a private Discord channel where we can talk about everything on the podcast. So that's what we offer, and it's been a hoot and a holler. This was a request actually from our audience on the streams. They were like, someday you got to start a podcast. And I believe it was Joanna Animan, who is one of the regulars here on Behance and also a mod for the APAC streams and host. Oh my gosh, Joe does so much. Anyways, they were saying that we should do a podcast called Oops All Bloops because we have a lot of, not talking good on the stream. Words are hard. And so we decided to just embrace that we are constantly just bloopers, basically.
Yep.
And so Oops All Bloops happened. And we've been having a real fun time because of it.
And how many episodes are you in now? You're on 7, right?
We're gonna film the 7th one here soon, and so this is something that like on the podcast, or what do you call it, the Oops All Bloops channel on our Discord. By the way, we have a Discord. That can be a sounding board for like what we talk about next. So if you ever want to hear something from us, we can just chit chat about that on the Discord channel, and then the next episode could be your request.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ryan, you could do that. You're one of the bloopies.
I am one of the bloopies. I've learned quite a lot, but I didn't realize I had that sort of power.
Yeah.
You always
got
have
all the power.
And so how frequently do those come out? Do you guys on a schedule, or is it just kind of
Yeah, it's every other Friday.
2 episodes per month.
Wow.
Yeah, and every other
$3.
Friday.
So it's $1.50 an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well spent.
Exactly.
But I always do. If I go snowboarding and I get a ski lift ticket and it's like $50, I will then ride the ski lift, and I will then divide it how many times I ride the ski lift. And I'm like, cool. It was only $4 for every ski lift.
Eventually they pay you to ride.
Eventually they pay me, yeah.
I've never been on a
Kendall's
ski
here, who
lift.
is a mod in your own stream, and she says bloopies have all the power.
Yeah, that's right.
Hi,
Kendall. Hi, Kendall. Kendall is actually Kendall's been there OG from the olden days. Kendall, so you've been asking people how they got into streaming, right? So can I do that?
Yeah.
So I was an Adobe Creative Resident, which if you don't know anything about that, look up the Adobe Creative Residency. It's amazing. And so on that journey that I took, I was on Adobe Live a few times as a guest, and shout out to Gus, Kathleen, Martin, and Paco Siller, all of them. I mean, the whole team for Adobe Live made me feel so welcome that I was kind of like instantly hooked on streaming. The chat's there, what? And so it's funny because I feel like this is a common theme that I've heard with several people you've been talking about, that they were like lonely. And so I felt like that was one of the ways that I could reach out to people and have a fun time. So started streaming on Twitch first, but then got this awesome invite to stream on Behance. It took about a month, but Anthony decided to join me. Anthony, do you remember how that happened?
Yeah, I do. You were trying to keep up with the chat and wanting to draw more often. So I was like, I'll read the chat to you while you draw, but I didn't have any kind of setup to do that. So I called you and you put me on speakerphone next to your mic, and it was kind of a hot mess, but
it was so
we
janky.
figured it out.
Yeah, it was great. You can find that in the archives of the streams, because I was just looking back at how long ago it was that I first started, and it was April 2020. So it's been over
April
a year.
14th, 2020. I looked at that earlier this morning too.
Oh my gosh.
I was trying to find the moment where I was on speakerphone, but I couldn't find it.
I actually think I tuned into that
Ryan,
stream. I think I'm there for that.
Nice.
It's so funny because I remember feeling like, oh, Ryan, I have to be professional in front of him.
And then I come in and I ruin all of it.
You were trying.
You enhance it just through your speaker.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh, did I just like realize something? Is Behance because of enhance? It sounds like that. I don't know why it's called Behance. Do you?
Yeah, I just can't talk about it on stream.
Good answer.
Yeah, it's a secret. I wasn't.
Internal.
I have to get that approved before I talk about that.
It's under NDA.
Oh my gosh. And we've been streaming ever since, having just an absolute ball. And that brings me to Kendall, who is from back in the Twitch days, OG. And Kendall said one time when we were streaming, we need a Discord so that we can share stuff like images that we want to show you. And that's how that began. And it's become a huge community of just people chit-chatting about all sorts of things. Obviously, we're Adobe Maxing right now. This is live, Max time.
Yeah, all right, Miss Keynote.
Oh my gosh, I still haven't even seen it. I was so tired. I slept right through it. And so, yeah, I have to go look back at that. Sorry. But the Max stuff, we have a whole channel whenever there's something big like this, like we did for Lightbox as well. Whenever there's a convention, we like to all talk about what we're doing and seeing. So yeah, we have awesome mods on there. Kendall is one of them. Shout out to Joe and Rin as well, and Anthony's mod. Woohoo. So yeah, that was such a revolutionary thing. So thank you, Kendall, for bringing up Discord, because I really think that it's a symbiotic relationship between Behance and another program to kind of keep us all in the same place, and we can post there whenever we're going live on Behance. I know that Ryan has a lively Discord channel as well, the Selvy server.
Selvy server.
So good.
For what it's worth, we have our question of the day. It's just a really good way to be able to talk to people when you're off the stream, because obviously you create these strong connections and you create time every day with the same people, and then when you go offline, suddenly it disappears. So it's nice to have another place where people can congregate and become closer friends and share art and music and games
exactly
all throughout the night.
It's my favorite social media now. I'm just like
laying in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. So
exactly, talking about Animal Crossing and sharing gifts.
Talking about Animal Crossing always.
What was today's question of the day?
I haven't gotten to it. It was the Are
Oh,
you
why is it
watching me?
called Behance?
Are you watching me? Yeah. Yes.
Right. So Anna, I know that you are struggling a little bit since you threw your tablet across the room and broke it in a rage.
Something like that.
Broke my computer. No, I've got I'm all good. I can draw on the iPad.
What do we got? What do we got working on today?
Today is this ongoing piece that we've been working on my streams, our streams. Sorry, Anthony. Jeez, just take ownership.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. It is yours. I'm helping you.
So this is the spooky parade. We have a bunch of Halloweenish kind of things going on. It's basically like halfway done, and so I just figured let's work on it a little bit more. We've got so many pieces that we've been kind of working on, and we even had people tag themselves live in the stream to be like, oh, this is so me. So like Oni Baba here, the dragon, I'm this little skeleton down here throwing candy
with yellow eyes.
Obviously gotta have glowing yellow eyes. No, I was kind of experimenting. Ryan, let me have your opinion on here. Black eyes, yellow eyes. What do you think?
I think that the black eyes works specifically in the center with the black background. It might be a little daunting if you have black eyes on top of that purple background.
What if we just make him hollow and like whatever's behind him, we put the eyes there?
Oh, that's a cute idea.
Then it's like lower contrast, not taking too much of the attention away.
Yeah. Oh, but then again, now what does it look like with black? I feel like such an annoying art director right now.
No, I love this. This is live
It's all
feedback.
about options.
This is what Anthony does sometimes. He's like, no, not like that, which is super helpful.
Oh yeah, no, I like the black.
Pupils? Could it be like a black sclera, yellow pupil situation?
Ooh,
what if it was like, ooh.
Yeah, something like that.
I've been really into like the dash the vertical pupils lately.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls. If you've ever seen that.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
That was such a great show.
Actually, I agree with Storm. We gotta add sound effects always. It makes the drawing better.
That's the personality.
The experience.
Behance.
Wait, it says, I love it. All the motion and the skeletons are really fun.
Yeah, they are really fun. It's been a fun, just everything with this piece. We've really come a long way. There were, the first stream was basically just working on the sketch. And then we tried out some different render techniques and kind of nixed a few of them. And then it was this guy, actually, this like mouse bat vampire dude that really brought into sharp relief like how we wanted to render it. We worked on a few different ways of doing him. So let me show you, actually. I think we have he looks a little different in that one. Oh, Anthony,
the fluffy ears.
Hair?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Anthony really wanted that ear hair. So yeah, there's a lot of journey that this one's gone through, and obviously it's kind of a big piece. So it's been a fun multi-stream one. I was actually kind of asking this of the stream peeps if they like the multi-streaming on one piece kind of technique.
The different parts.
Yeah.
Part 1, part 2, part 3.
It seems like people like them. Ryan, have you found that at all? Like working on a longer project?
I always like to try to make it into a one-day stream thing. And I'm like, yeah, we'll be done this in the next 30 minutes. And then, 3 days pass. And I'm like, what do you know? That ended up taking forever.
Ain't that just the way?
So I unintentionally have to often do a multi-day stream.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I always kind of feel bad about it also, but I don't know. It's something that I'm experimenting with.
Yeah, I
feel
feel
that.
like streaming for Anna and I has just been a massive experiment of changing when we stream, what we stream, if it's like a multi-part thing that we want to do or if it's a one-off thing, but it offers so much flexibility in the experimentation and just chatting with the viewers and saying like, what is it that you like to watch? Because I like drawing stuff. So what do you like the most out of what I'm doing? And that kind
Exactly.
of relationship between viewers and Anna and I and just what we want to work on just
Absolutely.
evolves the stream from stream to stream. It's like a day-to-day thing almost.
And I know you
Exactly.
mentioned that you are switching up the times that you do live stream. And
Oh, we are pretty
experiment.
regular on Monday and Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m.
Wait.
Oh God!
I have to
There's
press
an
the
animation.
button.
What?
All right, so how's that? Also, I split up the logo of Behance, and I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to do that. So no one
Don't notice
report the
that.
stream.
Shh, this
They're
is
all
just
looking at
between
the
you and
keynote
us.
and stuff, so they're not looking over here.
Look away. But yeah, the stream times, we go live Monday and Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time. That is usually when my Cintiq does not decide to break. So yeah, there are updates live on our Discord whenever we cancel or have a surprise stream. Sometimes I do secret silent streams, which is when I stream from the iPad. But I honestly move so much when I stream from the iPad that doing audio would be a mess. It'd be like so I just keep it silent and I draw and I chat with the people in chat. And so
Samar.
no,
Exactly.
it'd
I
be so
tried.
bad.
I tried. Sleeman says,
I'll
what
make it
software is
goofy.
this? Did this work like Photoshop?
Say again, sorry.
What software is this?
Oh, this is Adobe Fresco. Yeah, this is on the iPad. There is a desktop version of it as well, so you can use it on whatever. And so, yeah, the iPad is fine and dandy. Literally, because I decided to break my Cintiq in a fit of anger. That's not what actually happened, but Ryan really likes that storyline, so I'll keep it going. So
Behind the music.
that gave me the opportunity to work on the iPad because I use Reflector, which is a mirroring program, to put it on my screen of the computer. And now you guys can see what I'm doing on the iPad and I can stream from my computer still. Does that make sense? Not from the iPad? Yeah.
And also, Greg is saying, what products do you pick to stream and projects do you choose not to share the process and why?
That is such a good question. Wow. I always kind of answer that for myself. It's project by project for me to kind of decide what makes the cut and what doesn't. And it's not necessarily making the cut, as in I don't save my best work for stream. Honestly, a lot of my worst work has been on stream. But that's kind of the beauty of the process. You're showing people what happens, pull the curtain back. I heard you guys talking about magic earlier, where it's like showing your magic behind the magic thing. Wow, you guys talk better.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said.
That and I totally feel you, where it just feels like it strips a little bit of the magic away, but that's for the best purpose. It's to teach people what to do and how to do it, or what options there are, or even just to entertain them. And so, yeah, for the streams, I basically I kind of decide day to day what I feel like drawing and what I want to draw the most. That's what I save for the streams. Because without feeling some kind of passion towards the thing that you're drawing at that very moment where you're like, ooh, I really want to draw on that, the streams can feel a little forced. And that's what I don't want. And then obviously I keep client work confidential because I don't want to share anything that I'm not supposed to share. And then the other part of it is just like what I feel like is most fun for the viewers, but that like takes the lowest priority, because not that I don't love the viewers, obviously y'all are my family, but the idea that I'm drawing just for the audience is a lie. I'm drawing for me all the time. Right. I believe you were talking with Kimmy about this, but it was that you create what you want to create the most on stream, basically. Like you save the really fun work is what you get to stream, basically, because the idea is we're just drawing whatever, right? You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
have to do things that bring you joy because otherwise it's not going to feel authentic and it's not going to be your best work. And I know you said that it's not all your best work, but at least it's stuff that you're enjoying while you're working on it.
Well, and the ugly in-betweens are just such a fun part to show to people because that just makes it much more human. I feel like kind of like, you know, they always say on Instagram, like people aren't really living that life that you see them live on Instagram. They're messy and dirty and it doesn't look like that. That's the streams. Art is not always pretty. In fact, there almost has to be an ugly part. And there's a time when you have to scrap stuff a lot of times. This piece is actually a perfect example. So I started this piece as someone riding the back of this big cat that's in the center, and it just wasn't working. For some reason, I wasn't feeling it. And so I scrapped everything. And that was like probably 2 hours of work, something like that, trying to make it go somewhere. And then I decided the only part of this I like is the cat. And so I just deleted everything else and brought something else in, and I decided we're gonna add more and more and more because I feel when I think of Halloween, so many things, you know, it's not just one image, it's not just bats, it's not just pumpkins, it's all the things,
right?
So I wanted to really explore that, and bringing it to the stream just added so many elements. We have Taylor who has a pet named Beans, who is a frog, and this is Beans as Frog King, obviously. There are just like so many pieces in here. I actually drew this what do you call it, like thing
Totem?
Sure.
Sailor
Banner
Moon rod.
thingy dealio that I was thinking of Anthony while drawing it because I thought, wow, this looks like Sailor Moon. This is for Anthony because Anthony loves Sailor Moon. So
is that what you're gonna be for Halloween, Anthony?
Oh no.
Why not?
We've got our costumes picked out.
Oh, it's gonna be a thing. By the way, can we shout out our Halloween stream?
Yeah.
The Halloween stream. Yeah, we could do that. Sure. The fun part about this is Anna, since she broke her Cintiq in a fit of rage, cannot see the stream. So I can just... She has no idea when things are happening. She just hears like evil bats and other things coming in through her ears. And she's like, oh, I guess that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what I was expecting, obviously, right? So yeah, on the 28th,
Yep.
28th, yes. Anna and Anthony are both taking part in the Halloween special that we're having on Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And I haven't seen the final of it yet, but I have seen some process images of it, and it is a sight to behold. So make sure after you're done all your max craziness that Rin says, All Hallows Eve. Yes, it is.
Yeah, which one are we on?
The whole month of
Halloween
October. Okay.
Yeah.
The whole month of October is spooky content. Okay, we can have it literally any day.
That's what I'm all about.
Yes.
But
Literally.
I am very excited for it. I have been feeling the spooky vibes. I particularly like your little dude up in the top right, jack-o'-lantern guy with horns. But
yes.
it also appears like his entire head is on fire, which is not good for a gourd.
You know, it's fine. He's fine. Fire, I was born of this, you know, like he's fine. This is Jake Green, by the way. Jake tagged himself as Pumpkin Man. So taken. But Ryan, you could be little sleepy Raven. I believe that hasn't been taken. Or was that Alessandra?
I think that was Rin, wasn't it?
Was it Rin? I
Or
think
was
I have
it
the layer.
maybe it was
Yeah, here we go. It
Alessandra.
was Alessandra. See,
Yeah.
I labeled
Rin's right
who was
above.
what. Anthony Jackson took them off. Never mind. You could be Vampire Bat or the skeleton.
Yeah, Vampire Bat.
Oh, I feel like I'm more tied to the skeleton.
You wanna be
Okay,
the
wait, do you want to
skeleton?
be Bag of Candy Skeleton or do you want to be do blowing the horn?
Definitely
skeleton?
Bag of Candy skeleton.
Okay. There's also a ton of undulating ghosts and stuff, so we've got plenty of
Undulating.
room, friends.
Undulating. That's the
So
kind of
okay,
ghost I like.
this is also be a really good point too. I know you're using Fresco. Are the textures that you have in the bottom strokes, are those through Fresco, or is that brushes that you have downloaded and brought into Fresco?
I have some. I switch between. So the Fresco brushes that I use most often that are like Fresco. What do you call it? They come from Fresco. They are Kyle Webster's bebes. These are the rake grit and the pencil brush. I use them all the time. So this bottom texture is the rake grit brush. And it's just got that. I mean, come on. Look at that juicy lineage.
Juicy lineage. You heard it here first, folks.
And it just fills things in really quickly. I like to go chunky and then get more refined as I go. And I've also painted basically whole pieces with the pencil brush. And then I love the watercolor brushes too. If you haven't played with the live brushes in Fresco, they're amazing and they blend together live. So here, I have to show you in case you haven't seen a use of this yet. All right, so we're using the watercolor wash soft and we're just gonna zoop, zoop, zoop. All right, so, oh, that's cool, whatever. But then you take another color.
Not easily impressed. I get it.
And then you get the actual seepage where it's actually blending.
Great.
Ah, it's so cool.
I don't even understand how that's
The
possible.
words.
You know, words are good, Anthony. You know this.
Seepage, juicy lineage, or what did you call it?
All that.
Seepage, juicy lineage. It got worse somehow.
Guys, you can't quote me.
When you
Okay,
put it all
takes away the
together,
magic.
It's really something else.
Oh, did I mention that Anthony and I were best friends since like high school? So all this hard time he gives me, it's fine. I'm used to it.
Am I giving you a hard time? I don't even notice.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Okay, so those are the watercolor brushes. And then I've been using some amazing new brushes from Shauna Parmesan, the Photoshop sketchers that she just released. And I have links to her brushes in every single one of the descriptions of my streams, just in case anybody wants to get stuff that I'm using. I really like giving people those assets. So they're lovely textures all around. And one other thing I want to show. Sorry, I have to just gush over. Boop, boop, boop. Let's go to favorites. There's a reason that the pencil brush is my favorite brush, basically. It's that you can go perpendicular to the screen, so like pencil tip down and get this like kind of, you know, just a regular pencil kind of feel. And then you put it more parallel to the screen and you can get this nice graphite kind of rubbing.
Ooh.
It's so fun and so organic and it just feels right. And this is one of the reasons that I fell in love with Fresco is this is like the first brush they give you and I was just immediately in love. Nice. Speaking of which, motion, are you guys ready for this?
Yeah, animation within there. It's gonna be good.
I saw a couple of people in the chat asking Anna if you were going to animate this current thing in Fresco.
There's so many parts that could move.
There is, but that's also the beauty of it. You could just move very small parts. Like you could even, like without moving anything else, you could move the bell of the cat. Just to go.
Or you could have the stars rock back and forth.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many fun opportunities. But then I want like the banner to wave. I want the fire to go. Whoosh,
I think everybody else does too. So give the people and yourself what we want.
You know, this is all going to be on one layer at the end, basically.
You could do it. We
it's
believe.
Gonna be really hard. I think I'll give it to Kendall and see what she does with it.
Just make it open source and see how everyone animates it.
I would honestly love that. I've had people take my work before and make something new from it. We were just talking on the last stream about how I had this like, what do you call it? Like forest elf
Leafy
lady. And she was animated. Well, first of all, she was modeled and then animated by two separate artists on ArtStation who just decided this is my concept art. I'm going to make this. And they were just fantastic. So I love it when people take my work and make something new with it. I love credit also. But
yeah, right, obviously. I love when people steal my work. It's great.
Well, it's funny because I feel like so flattered when people, you know, oh, they like my work. But then, yeah, if they don't credit you, it's kind of like, what are you hiding, man? We could collaborate.
Marissa was also asking about where to get free brushes. Not that she doesn't love Kyle, but she already downloaded all of them.
Oh my gosh, our Kyle brush is not enough for you. Whoa, there's so many.
There's so many resources out there. I see that Voodoo put one in the chat as well.
Is Val here?
You can also Voodoo Val is here.
Hi, Val.
And she will also be on the show tomorrow, which will be fun.
Tomorrow.
So make sure you guys tune in for that. Same time, same place.
Heck yeah.
But Yeah, no, there's a lot of resources. Just go ahead and look. I mean, if you have Photoshop brushes, you can then import them into Fresco, which is really beautiful. They're not
Absolutely.
necessarily the live ones that Anna was showing, but they are still great brushes that people have provided and created online. And then obviously there's also subscriptions and people like Kimmy who are including brushes for Illustrator and other programs in their subscriptions on Behance, which is cool.
See, that is amazing. This is why I'm so happy that there are subscriptions now. Is like we're not just sharing the process, but literally here's the tools, here's the PSDs, here's like everything you can need. I just hope that people realize like you pay a lot for that when people put out classes and things like that. They can be hundreds of dollars to get assets and some kind of tutorial to walk you through it. So the subscriptions are really an amazing thing. And also that they're kind of open to the creativity of the creator. You know, like Ryan's creating whole assets for people. I still can't believe how much work you're putting into that. Ryan.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's crazy. But
Well, he's just so talented. It's not that much work, right? Is that?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Ryan's like,
agreed.
oh, it's just like one stream or whatever. He'll create this entire animation that's completely bespoke to the person, and it's just amazing.
I'm disappointed that I don't have them on my StreamYard right now because I would put your worried one up right now.
Oh,
Existential worry.
Existential worry.
I can make the face.
I am also seeing that Oh Boy a Toy just appreciated your 2018 painting. So we're gonna flip over real quick to Anthony's screen.
Sounds good. Yeah, I can
He's
look
got
again.
a beautiful old portrait up of a leafy lady.
Yeah, that's the
Leave
one that people
late.
took and 3D modeled and animated. It was so cool to see it in motion.
Oh,
Seriously,
really?
so cute.
Yeah.
They did amazing stuff with it too, like whole animations versus like
Yeah,
stuff
and
like
all the
it's
leaves are wiggling and pretty cool.
very
That's
cool.
so cool. And that was all organized through your Discord?
No, that was ArtStation. They found my work and then they made their thing and then they just like tagged me at the end of it. And I
Yeah.
was like, what?
It was
I
a
had no
surprise
idea.
when some of those started rolling in because I feel like one person did it and then a couple other people saw that and they're like, I want to try that. That looks like fun. I was like, Pixar, hire her immediately.
Yeah, right? Like it's catching on.
Everybody loves leaves, which is the crazy part. I'm like, how did you model that much foliage? Because it's a lot. Like just painting it.
How'd
was
you
a lot.
draw that much foliage?
Foliage?
Foliage.
Wait, is that how you say it? Am I
No,
saying
it's
it
not
wrong?
how I
Okay.
say it, but
I'm gonna
I've
say
been
it wrong.
live
Wrong.
for 2.5 hours now, okay?
Oh, by the way, great job.
Yeah.
I can't
Well,
believe
thank you
you've
very
been doing
much. I
this for so
appreciate it.
long.
We don't have anyone for the last segment, so we are over for your time slot, but I'm enjoying
I
having
knew
you
this would
here, so if
happen.
you're cool.
It always creeps up.
Um,
I guess that's another thing about streaming is we go for 2 hours, but we're always surprised at the end of 2 hours of it's been
what?
this long already.
I'm
Amazing.
surprised at the 1 hour mark because we do a thing called monkey
Yeah,
paws where we
monkey
stretch our
paws.
hands and that
Ooh,
one.
do you want to do monkey paws now?
Why not? Let's do it.
Who should be full screen, Anthony or you?
All three of us. We'll just do it really
Obviously.
condensed.
Yeah, really condensed.
Well, the one when it's like really close to our faces.
Yeah.
and we'll just
Look
be
at I
like,
have autofocus now. Look at this. Anthony did this.
Ooh. Did you get a new camera?
No, Anthony just changed my camera. That's why I
It
look
snaps
like
in and
his
out
colors
so
more,
quick.
and then-
That's amazing.
So quick. That is like the fastest autofocus I think I've ever seen.
And it
I'm not
doesn't
even
sound
being
like anything.
hyperbolic. Like, I think that really is the fastest autofocus I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is really impressive. I didn't realize it would
Sony
go that fast.
A6000 and Sigma lens. I don't know. But anyways.
Plug. We found this
So-
feature when we were filming for your Halloween special. So
Indeed, we did.
thank
which,
you for having
by
us
the
be a part
way,
of it.
I'm gonna
so
send you this
excited, guys.
afterward, and oh my gosh, I don't know if you're ready. Anyways, okay.
Mine
so
doesn't focus. Mine's just all one focus. 'cause
Yours
it's a
looks
cheap Logitech.
great. Look at your background. You are living in a jungle. This is amazing.
Yeah,
know,
these-
yeah.
I was saying these are all my healthy alive plants. All the dead ones are right there.
Get those out of here.
They're
We're
just
going
right on the
live.
screen, you know?
Okay, so for monkey paws, we're gonna put our arms straight out in front of ourselves and put our fingers to the ceiling, palms away. Ryan, are you gonna?
All right, sorry. Annika was asking about your camera. It's a Sony A600, right?
A6000.
A6000. Sorry,
And
add
in
an
the
extra zero.
hundreds here.
It's always with Anna. She's always like, add an extra zero to everything. It's awesome.
Can you imagine? Okay, so fingers to the sky, palms away, and then we curl our fingers into what we call a monkey paw. Or if you're in the Halloween
Paw.
season, we've been calling them
Okay.
monster claws and going. And the second pose, we put our fingers to the ground, palms towards ourselves, and then curl our monster claws in. Are you okay, Ryan?
It always feels funny. You're supposed to stop if it hurts, but I always
Yeah.
go for it anyway.
Okay, don't hurt yourself. That's number one rule.
You can do a gentle stretch. You don't have to do the full thing.
Yeah. Third pose, we put our palms out, fingers to the ground, and then
I
curl.
feel like
our
this is a
fingers
good
in.
composition of me. I feel
Yeah,
like-
it really is.
Somebody screen grab quick.
Feels very pants
Oh
labyrinth.
my gosh. Oh, could that be the existential worry now?
Oh yeah, right. No, yours is still too good.
And then fourth pose, we put our fingers to the sky, palms towards ourselves, and curl our fingers in. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Ooh,
Ooh,
uh-uh.
ooh, or or whatever.
No, we repeat these poses, holding for about a second each, around
mm,
10 times. Oh my gosh, not too
mm,
fast, Ryan. You're
mm,
going to kill yourself. Oh my gosh.
The last stream that I had control over my fingers. until-
Yeah, seriously, they've taken over.
I come back alive tomorrow and I'm just in casts.
Oh no, full body.
Cool.
Oh yeah, he screamed. That's the max one.
Yeah.
Streamer casualty.
So yeah, these are just to stretch your wrists and your tendons. If they don't feel like the right fit for you, Ryan, then feel free to Google whatever you can to take care of your body, because this is just a reminder to take care of yourself, because we're using our hands constantly and we got to take care of ourselves to prevent any injury or problems in the future. So drink water, close your eyes, do some neck stretches, all the things. Oh yeah, and shake them out with you gently.
Rid says I took a screenshot and Discord is deeming it explicit.
Yes.
Too much monster claw.
It was too
Um,
much hand flesh.
I
Close
have
your eyes. Children, look away.
I have recently been testing our new moderation on our new chat service on Behance for live streams, and I was messaging Anna and Anthony all the horrible things that the chat service doesn't let me say anymore.
So many things. You and
No,
Anthony
you-
have
you
that in
can-
common.
Yeah, we
You can
do.
find comfort. You can find comfort in knowing that Behance is a safe place. And
Very
if you are
safe.
looking for nice, welcoming community, my awful comments will not make it through anymore. So
You can't bully us anymore, Anthony. We're
I
free.
can't do any more bullying.
No.
So
It's like a blessing and a curse, because when I wrote something that I thought was innocent enough, I got an email from someone at Behance being like, no, strike one. I was like,
No,
whoa.
no, no,
Well, you
Anthony.
were quoting the streamer, so
Yeah, I was just quoting what they said.
and it was on a stream that Ryan was a part of.
I got in trouble for nothing.
I just
Anyway.
learned this for watching you, Dad.
This is what happens when we go overtime. Chaos ensues.
Oh yeah.
Did you want to show them something? I don't know. What are you looking at?
Oh, I was just scrolling through some of your pieces.
Scrolling.
And a lot of these were made on stream, which is really cool.
A ton of them,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, that little elephant one, the Thumbs and Sprig. The astronaut one was actually from Lightbox last year, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, there's just been so much artwork on the streams. And like you guys were saying through many of the interviews that you've done, great job, Ryan. The difference between streaming and not streaming was the major. Oh, thank you, Anthony.
I gotta
the major
just do this real quick. Oops, I forgot on all of them.
Oh my gosh, what a true friend.
See, if we switch over to her screen, we'll also get the little notifications on the bottom right.
I'm getting
too.
all the notifications right now. You want? Oh yeah, whoops. Inception.
Oh, that's a cute
Anthony-
one.
Liking
What?
there we go. Boom. Now we got
Great
it.
starting scene.
What I was trying to say was that the difference between streaming and not streaming changed my life last year and this year. I feel like it's been such a huge connector between me and the human race. And obviously getting to stream with my best friend multiple times multiple times during the week, and we do so much now together where it's like, you know, filming for your Halloween special or trying to open an online store, doing the podcast, like all of that came from streaming. So it's just this huge change in like priorities in life and timing, and I'm so grateful for it.
And yeah, I know we kind of spoke a bit at the top of the hour, but with Oops All Bloops, how do you feel like that is continuing to change your relationship with Behance and changing your relationship with streaming?
I feel like it's just an evolution where it becomes the next step. in how we talk. And
Mhm.
it's really become like when I first started streaming, I thought people will watch this for the artwork. And now it feels like it's kind of evolving into people watch it for us a lot of times and hanging out with our friends, which is why I like watch a lot of streamers. I feel like I'm hanging out with someone, and it's like ambient entertainment. So you can put it on in the background and do whatever, or you can be super engaged and be like constantly chatting. And I just love that feel, that like option. You can be there, you can be in the background. I love lurkers, you know, there's nothing wrong with lurking. So there's many options with how to kind of become a part of it. And the podcast has been kind of its own, it's almost like a stream in a way. I mean, Anthony, you speak to this too. Do you feel like it's kind of stream-ish? Like stream adjacent?
Yeah, it's definitely stream adjacent. I think it's topics that people in the stream want to hear, and that's why we put it on Behance. We thought it would be a good platform for that. It's like a deeper dive kind of stream, almost like a John Oliver type of situation. But
last week tonight.
yeah,
Let's
last
get
week
into it,
tonight.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I subscribe. It's into that.
But we still go on tangents and we keep it lighthearted. So.
But it's all resourceful information for artists figuring out how to be a professional in a world where it's kind of just expected that everyone's supposed to know everything. But
right.
No one's talking about it.
Exactly. That's why, you know, sometimes you have to talk yourself out of the imposter syndrome of like, why are we talking about this? We're not the experts on it, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but also if this is something that people find, maybe it sparks something in them to find, you know, more from someone else who knows what they're talking about. That's a horrible way to put it. But the thing is, like, when we talk about online schools and stuff like that, we just talked about art school, and that was our last episode. And so we were talking about alternatives that we've found, and I'm thinking, man, I wish I had this when I was thinking about going to art school, to think about all the alternatives I could have, you know, looked to and found more my path through life. Even if I had decided to go to art school still, maybe I would have been more definitive about what I wanted to come out on the other side with. Mm-hmm. And so even just finding that, if somebody who is thinking about art school listens to that podcast, maybe we're not like the definitive people to talk about art school, but hearing our situation and what we've found since we've, you know, lived our lives, maybe that helps somebody. Maybe it puts them on a journey. Who knows? And
Dan Martin is in the chat saying, I prefer to call myself a peeker, not a lurker.
Peeker.
You
I like that.
peeked. All right, then. Hi, peekers. We also say hi to Replay Land quite a bit, because those who watch after we're live are just as loved as those who are there when we're live.
So. Sometimes during the streams, if someone has to head out early, we'll leave like a secret message after they leave. So hopefully when they come back and rewatch the episode, they'll feel included still.
So Kendall had to take Razzie on a walk. Kendall's the best, right? Can you believe how hard she works on everything she does? She never
at
does
least it's
anything
positive
halfway.
Secrets.
It's positive secrets. Yeah.
It's not like talking behind her back.
No, none of that.
You ever think we would do that? No.
Not on stream.
I also liked how Anthony, he had it pulled up. We were talking about something else at the time. But there was the era of Anthony sitting in the dark, which was fun. It was the dark period.
We've had many an Anthony era. Well, Anthony, you've streamed with me from like your laptop before, sitting in a papasan in your living room. So there have been a lot of different vantage points, and there probably will be in the future. You know, I always feel like I've outgrown outplayed. No. I've outgrown my apartment so much because it's a tiny space that I'm in.
Wait, was that a Hamilton reference?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was a Survivor reference for me, but if you want it to be, go for it.
We do make Hamilton
outgunned,
references.
Outmanned, outnumbered,
that's what I thought it was.
Yeah, totally. All right, it is now. Thanks, Ryan. So what I was saying was the apartment is so small, so I look forward to moving someday, and then my film setup can like crazy change. Who knows? Like right now my camera is on my desk, so that thing that Ryan was talking about, if I move this desk, it jiggles. So I so hope someday to like mount it to the wall or whatever you did, Ryan, to make it look so good.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want to do.
I had to literally find a stud and get like this crane of a thing, and then have my webcam attached to it, and
Whoa.
it worked. But
Did you post a picture of that on your Discord somewhere? I'd love to see your setup.
oh, I did probably somewhere. I'd have to figure it out. I would turn it right now, but you do not want to see the craziness that I have, and I'm scared something would
but
fall
I
over
do.
and be a whole thing.
Oh, no worries. Just take a picture with your cell phone later and send it to your Discord.
Instructions step by step.
No
And
worries
then-
right now, but this is exactly what I need you to do.
All right,
And
Anthony, what I'm gonna need you to do is
Ryan, are
They're
you
just
trying to
saying,
say
how do
something?
you stay focused on one project and see it through to completion?
for me,
Yeah.
That's a good question.
the pressure of people wanting to see it done.
Yeah.
No, honestly,
I think
yeah.
live streaming does do a lot of that for me. Honestly, it's like I'll get
Yeah.
something started, and then he's kind of your accountability buddies.
Accountability
buddies. That's a mouthful.
But have you never heard of
okay.
accountability buddies?
Accountability
No.
buddies.
Yeah,
Oh,
they keep
that's
you
great.
accountable.
We just are that for each other. Anthony's definitely one who's been like, "Oh,
We
hey,
don't
where's
believe in
that
labels.
thing?"
Yeah, no labels. I'm a proponent of that
labels.
sometimes.
Yeah, it definitely depends. But the idea that you want to see it through as well is very much like the top of my mind all the time, where I'm like, oh man, I wish I had this done. It would feel so much better. Like this piece in particular, I'm really excited to see done, and I want to get it finished before Halloween so that I can give it to my patrons and be like, here's a wallpaper at the last second. Sorry.
for Halloween day. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly. The one day.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. You don't always have things prepared ahead of time, and you just kind of have to let things happen as they do. But I have definitely sat on pieces for months and not finished them. I have one actually that came up right before this one. Anthony had it on the Behance page. It's like the mouse in the rainy day kind of illustration that we were working on before this, and I was really into it, but then Halloween feeling came up, and I was just like, I need to do Halloween art now. And so we started working on this, and that one's just waiting to be finished. Yeah, but
And that one also went through a journey. I think you restarted
yeah.
it from what we had in the first stream. This is
You have the wiggly tough right there.
yeah. We had like a Pokemon challenge real quick.
I was
Draw
trying
this
to
from
say,
your
like,
memory.
oh yeah, draw it from your memory. So don't think that that's me using reference.
This is why reference is good.
Reference is great.
Yeah,
Use
that's
reference.
what Storm was talking about. I don't know if you caught that or not. But
Absolutely, no, that's
these
exactly why.
Reference sources.
Use all the reference, because Wigglytuff does not look like that. Jake Green also drew Wigglytuff, and that's kind of one of the reasons, again, that Discord is so great, is we could say, hey, please draw Wigglytuff, and then post it to the Discord, and then we could look at it on stream and be like, wow, you're way better at remembering it than I am. Even though James, my partner James, is a Wigglytuff almost main on Pokemon Unite, so like, you know, I should know how he looks.
Wow, was that a Pokemon Unite flex that just happened on Behance?
I mean, he is a master level player. Come on.
He is. That's true. I witnessed it myself over the weekend.
It's crazy. We never got to play Animal Crossing, Anthony. Oh.
We didn't. No.
Update's not out yet, so it's fine.
And we also didn't watch the 73 questions Adele answered in British Vogue. But I mean, who's keeping track of what we did and didn't promise to watch?
The sass. Anyways, yeah, finishing pieces. It's hard. Anthony, how do you finish pieces? Because I feel like you have a really taxing job for finishing things as well.
Oh yeah, I feel like a lot of the artwork you do is just me vicariously making artwork currently.
That's how we do.
When it's like client work, I just nose to the grindstone, get it done, because there's deadlines looming. I know
Deadlines always help.
Deadlines for the type of work I do are like same day deadlines or like next day. But for Anna, I feel like with book stuff, the timeline kind of gets stretched out.
Very stretchy. Oh my gosh. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to do this for the next year or something. So that's when you have to make smaller deadlines and say, okay, these sketches due next week. The color passes the week after that or whatever it is. And so yeah, those kind of things definitely help and are necessary for my brain to work. With personal work, it's a little bit different, but it's more that push of like wanting to see it done and be like, it's not just sitting there anymore. That being said, having the mouse piece to go back to is a perfect way to have like a chill stream if I ever want it, where I'm just like, I know what I want to do with it. It's not starting from scratch. Sometimes starting from scratch is like the most intimidating thing. I'm sure you can attest to that, Ryan. I mean, how do you feel about it? Like, does it seem better or worse some days to start from scratch versus picking up something you've been working on?
Definitely depends on it. I mean, especially with motion projects in particular, it's really tough to have an old project where you don't remember how everything connects, and then it's like everything's connected to everything, and it's very confusing. But then other times it's very refreshing because, like, for the live stream sizzle, it was like an older one that I had updated. So
nice.
It was nice to be able to get back and actually have a little bit more bandwidth to do some stuff that I was a little bit worn out to do otherwise, you know.
How many projects do you think you have at one time? Because it seems like you put out a ridiculous amount of stuff. Like
projects all the time. But I also am just a busybody, so it makes sense.
You like it?
I love all of it. All the projects and the special streams and collaborating with people. It's great. I love how your mind works.
We are pretty much at the top of our hour, though, so I guess it would be a good time to do all my advertisements. I'm probably we'll run the live stream one, we'll run the Halloween one, and then we'll run my subscription one, and then we will say goodbye if we don't get cut off. So
sounds great.
That works. All right.
Good.
So I know we watched this a few times, but let's check out the. We'll start with Halloween first because that one's the one I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, get ready.
Spooky.
And then we'll do live streaming again.
We are glad to have you.
On the couch.
Jazzy.
We are glad to have you.
We are very glad to have you.
You're just everywhere. You're in the keynote. You're in the sizzle. You're in everything. And then finally, last but not least, my own subscription trailer for what I have to offer.
Hi, Sarah's here. Sarah, get to play your thing. You go.
Amazing.
It was so good. I love how
Get 'em all
excited you
in.
were when Sarah was in the chat. I can
Yeah,
play your
right.
thing. That's so
I get to
good.
do a thing because it's fun.
Yeah, it's so exciting to see familiar faces in the chat. They really make streaming a really good time.
I haven't seen that one with your subscription. All your stuff. It's like mind blowing how much you do for every single person who signs up. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. It's crazy.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
it's a
much.
lot of work.
Great job.
Well, thank you guys for everything, and thank you for being on the show. We're gonna get cut
Thank
off
you,
in a
thank
minute
you.
or so.
All right.
Um,
Thanks, chat. Love
Should we
to see
dance
ya.
it out?
Dance it out. Make sure you check out Anna and Anthony over on Anna's and on Anthony's. They don't normally stream up Anthony's, but
No,
Just
normally never.
important
Yeah,
to check
it's
out.
all
Never.
Anna's.
maybe one day. Oh boy,
Maybe
a toy
one
goes
day.
live.
Ryan has tried to get me to do it a couple of times.
Maybe I'll just force your hand somehow. I don't know how yet, but we'll make it happen.
It'll be the same day I start playing Animal Crossing. Maybe that's what
That
I'll
too.
stream.
All right, cool. So like next week, guys, look for a stream from Anthony
About
it
Animal
might even be an
Crossing.
Animal Crossing stream.
I would love to watch you build your island, honestly. So
Oh, okay.
Do it.
Okay.
It's such a kind thing to say to someone.
truly the largest of compliments.
I also should do my thanks for stopping by one too. Is there like a small echo for you guys as well? Is that
Yeah.
coming through?
Echo
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's happening. It'll
I
be
get
fixed
the
by
point.
tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, different people. It's been such a pleasure to have everybody here.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
Hope to see you guys all real soon. Monkey paws, but with
Sorry, I'm
those
just like focused.
Autofocus.
Yeah, look at those fingers. Ooh.
All right, I'm supposed to get cut off at 57, so let's see if it happens. If we're still just
We'll
happening,
test it.
and I
We'll
don't
test
have
it.
my
See you
outro.
later.
And we could
Did
just
you
do
name the
fucking-
skull behind you? Who's the skull in the background?
It's Anthony.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Scary skeleton.
Oh.
Oh, he's so
Shakespeare.
cute. You look so good.
That's how I want to
Just
go,
like
surrounded by
Anthony.
plants.
Truly. All right.
I'm
Well,
gonna
thank
play
you
a
for
thing, but
having
have a great
us,
time,
Ryan.
guys. Or great day. I had a great time. No.
You
All of
did
the
have a good
above.
time.
Shut up.